The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audience.
How's everybody's father feeling today?
Go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself.
Oh, what do you guys want to talk about?
Let me talk to you.
We are fucking back. We're back. Classic. We are back.
That's right, folks. We are back, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome everyone to the Circle Debate in Time Pro Wrestling Podcast, episode 218. The new paradigm, all right? The new paradigm, folks. Wow. That's all I got to say. But I'm going to save myself for that when we get to it. But, of course, I'm not alone, ladies and gentlemen. The host of Team White Missing, my familia. Yeah, baby. Of course, well, my two other hosts. Unfortunately, our other host, he's sick. That is a banger, but hopefully he gets better. Tim King, he'll get better because, under the weather. The weather changes here around, world of North America, everywhere. You know how it is. But he'll get better. But go ahead and introduce.
Shout out to the banger.
Shout out to the banger for him to get better. That's right. But let me go ahead and introduce my two hosts, ladies and gentlemen. This man is, how he says, we're not late. I know, but it doesn't say that because you are just in time to hear this man give all you fellow debaters what you need to hear, because this man is a redeemer, baby.
Because I'm not just the coolest, and I'm not just the best.
The Redeemer is back.
That's right, the redeemer himself.
That is right. Live on Circle of Debate. It is Thursday night, and you know what that means. The fam is here to give you what you want. And of course, it is always game over.
Oh, this is going all the time when he does that. This is Nettie. But of course, our other host, ladies and gentlemen, he's the attorney at law that fights for all of you guys, not only for Game Breaker Sports, but here for the Debate Network as well. This man, he brings you your money back guaranteed, because make sure, like I said, if you're delaying in traffic, or if you had a false alarm somehow, some way, or let's say the pay-per-view you saw was not the greatest pay-per-view you saw and you want your money back, call Pepsi Phil Hathaway Esquire, ladies and gentlemen. Call at 1-900 Mussolini, folks. Remember, this man will fight for you, and he'll make sure that you get all your money back guaranteed. Remember, it's $3.99 consultation fee, so make sure. Ain't that right, Redeemer?
You must always remember that you can receive a free can of Pepsi. Pepsi Phil and Pepsi are not responsible if you see the wrong can of Pepsi. Top Rope Wrestling Talk, Circle Debate, and Game Breaker Sports are all responsible for the sad.
Call today. That's
Money's
right.
on the way. Call Pepsi Phil today.
Because he will fight for you, and yet he's showing his hand instead of his face. Pepsi.
I'm just fulfilling my legal duty. It's one of his clients. We can't discuss that.
My man Vince. Shout out to Vince, of course. Man,
Vince. What is good,
show
bro?
last night. Good show last night with GETCHO. I loved it, man. If you guys haven't heard it, yes. Shout out to you, Vince. Shout out to podcast. That was a good show last night on GETCHO Podcast Live. If you missed it, along with Kyle for A for Bump, now they were discussing about the merch back in the days and the current ones. I loved it, man. You guys, I know everybody's calling me OPC because I'm the original Papi Chulo. I thank you. But you're Papacito, okay? You're Papacito.
We need an OPC shirt, baby. We need OPC shirt.
I know.
OPC.
He gave me OPC. He gave me the idea.
That's a merch opportunity. As your lawyer, you need that licensing deal done.
Will do.
Yes.
I came in just in time to hear the intro for the Redeemer. Oh, I love
Appreciate
it.
you, Vince.
Tom, the future.
Tom.
Okay. We love you, Tom.
What is good, my brother?
That's good. That's right. Pepsi Phil always looks like a compass podcast. I love it.
Yes,
I love it.
yes.
Hell yeah. Shout out, Mr. Piggy. What's going on?
What's good, man?
What's good, my brother?
1 second.
Oh, yeah, no worries. No worries. There you go. See, that's what he gets for the attorney at law. They're calling him already. It's like, wait a minute. Hey,
see, clients galore. See, he will fight for you.
He will fight for you, man. But man, speaking of fighting, and I hope you guys joined us this past Saturday for the watch along of Wrestle Dream. And of course, we're gonna go over it. But then it's like, whoo, man. You heard us that Saturday. If you guys actually did see us, oh God. I mean, I just very brief for me. It just everything was fine. Like the card itself, even the 0 hour. I'll give it credit what credit's due. Especially, with Brian Cage becoming the Ring of Honor Television Champion. Congratulations, Brian Cage. And I'm so happy that's a boy right there. SoCal, baby. And Outrunners that are great, coming out and then just seeing them and seeing Rico Constantino. Man, I haven't seen that guy. You are
so good to me.
Oh, man.
He doesn't change at all.
No, he doesn't. Right. And I think he's like 64. I think. I don't
shit.
know. Where the hell did happen here? He should be back right now. Because but man, I don't know. It's just I was just he looks the same, but I mean body shape I would say. I mean, but good for Rico. I hope, like I said on the Saturday, Redeemer, I hope they decide to keep his ass, have him there, have him ask for the manager for MXM. That would be great. It's a great idea to have that. I would be fantastic to have him there. Hopefully they decide. Hopefully Tony Khan, if you're listening, watching, you better do it because that'll be some shit that I wouldn't mind. And everything else in the card was great, but I'm gonna save myself for the main event because I mean, fuck, I don't. Because I can't wait to hear what Pepsi Phil had to say. He'll be back on it. But man, I can tell you the match of the night for me, almost all of them were great. It's hard because it's between the triple threat, the women's between Willow and Mariah May. They did a great job, man. They fucking killed it.
What a match!
What a match! That was a great match. And even with Commander, I mean, with Mordos and freaking Hologram, that was great. Those three matches were really the top ones that I was like, shit, hell yeah, it was awesome. And I had to give it to Private Party too. They did what they had to do, even though they lost. But at least we got to see what we've been seeing when they first made their debut in AEW 5 years ago. And I'm kind of glad to have that, especially with Quinn. When he was out for a long time and seeing him, his shape and change his style. Because when we first saw them, especially against Anthony Quinn, he was not in that shape where he was, especially those BTE clips. He looked way different now, and he's in shape. I'm happy for him. But man, I honestly, for him, it's hard to say which one the match of the night because those top three that I mentioned were fucking incredible. I enjoyed all of them. Did a fantastic job. But man, a new champion, international champion. Why, Kyle? Why? You. Well, at least you got Tim. Tim is the one that said, okay, he called it. So, Banger, if you're watching, you fucking called it on that one. I didn't want that to happen. But, man, oh, man. No.
Notorious.
That's right. Notorious DOM. Yes. No, we're waiting for Pit Phil. He just had a little technical difficulties. I'm watching TNA. Oh, appreciate you.
Shouts.
Keep us updated, Mr. Pink.
Yes.
What's going on TNA? I would like to know. But
Absolutely.
Man, I mean, I'm gonna I'm saving myself for the main event. But man, break it down, my brother, host, Redeemer. Overall, nice to be the middle. We'll touch that when Phil gets here, hopefully. So the floor is yours.
I really actually I went into this with very, very low expectations, going in this so little interest. You heard me say it every week, just going, I don't have very much excitement going into this show. So I don't know what I'm going to get out of this. And honestly, I think the show delivered. I feel like the show really delivered. Like Jay White and Hangman kicking off the show was like perfect. The way to
There
start
he
the
is.
show. There he is.
All right, he's back.
Yay.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No worries.
Yeah, I think Jay White and Hangman kicking off the show was like the perfect way to start it off.
Oh, yeah, I
White
forgot
getting the
about that.
win. White getting the win was like the smartest idea because I feel like it's time to start building Jay White back up to be that main eventer that we know he is. So getting that big win over Hangman, who honestly, as far as I'm concerned, is fucking bulletproof at this point.
Yeah.
So he could take a loss, give Jay White the win. So that was correct decision. Great way to start the show. Mariah May, Willow Nightingale. Listen, story non-existent. Basically, just kind of happened. But damn, that match was fucking fantastic.
Hell yeah.
Willow and Mariah fucking killed it. Yeah. I will say that. And it's, man, I got stuff to say when we get to Dynamite for poor Mariah May. I feel so bad for her with this situation. Yeah. Perry and Shibata, honestly, I thought was solid for being just this matchup that really felt like it had no build going into it again. Just kind of got thrown on the card last minute. But honestly, I thought the match was pretty solid. But the big thing was it did make Shibata look dumb how it ended. It really did. It made Shibata look dumb.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, that whole match's existence was basically to get what we got after that by having Garcia come out and then having MJF come back and then having Adam Cole come back. Like, it was fucking wild. And it's just weird to talk about with the Adam Cole MJF stuff, how we're going back to that. And now the roles are reversed. So now you have to like truly come up with an explanation as to why Adam Cole is coming after MJF at this point. Because since it was basically MJF was the face, now he was going after Cole because Cole turned his back on him. What is the reasoning why Cole wants MJF now is the question. Is there the big one? Mm-hmm. The triple threat match, I honestly think was match of the night. What's good, Streets? I thought
what's good, Henry?
I thought triple threat was match of the night. That international title match was phenomenal. Like, I did not fully expect the Fletcher turn. I thought it was fucking wild. I know. I said the same thing. But man, it gave us what we've been asking for. Konosuke Takeshita as a champion, finally. It finally feels like beating Omega twice has finally given him something out of this instead of just bouncing around the show doing fuck all.
Okay.
So I'm happy with that. Hologram and Mortos easily could have been a collision match, but for putting it on the pay-per-view, it was fucking awesome. Those two did, as people would say, phenomenal lucha things. It was amazing.
Yes.
Darby and Brody, fully expected it to be great. It was fucking great, as expected.
Mm-hmm.
The Bucks and Private Party. Now, I'll say this. The match itself was really good.
Mm-hmm.
I hated the fact that the Bucks went over because at this point, I personally just want the Bucks to drop the tag team titles. Their reign fucking sucks. Right. It absolutely sucks right now. And it sucks because you literally had them run down Private Party before the match starts, and then you back it up by just basically shitting on them. And that's the part that sucks about it the most of it.
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully it's not just going to be Private Party just falls down and down and down. Hopefully you can keep them in tag team title contention. So I'm happy with that. Jericho and Briscoe. Listen, I love Mark Briscoe, but I could give a rat's ass about this match. It was so the timing the timing of the match was terrible. Like the fact that was your pre-main event, I legitimately forgot the match was on the card. And I feel bad for Mark Briscoe being drug into this shit. Like, why is he still there? Like why is he interjecting himself around Chris Jericho? Like, absolutely not. Nobody wants that. And again, when we get to Dynamite, I got stuff to talk about that shit too.
Oh yes.
And
I would love to see that.
We'll save the main event because we'll all talk about the main event more than likely. So
yeet. What's going on,
So,
Mr.
but overall, I did enjoy the show more. I in the end, going in with low expectations, I enjoyed the show more than I thought I was going to.
See, even Mr. Pena agrees with you right there. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. He needs to retire. That is for sure. Oh, he needs to retire. I think we all want to. And Jordan, I didn't miss your question, by the way. So we'll get to that. I'm gonna say that for Dynamite. I'm telling you right now, Jordan. There's a chef. What's going on? Shout out to the chef.
What's
Shout out to Henry.
good, BC?
Marcus, Mr. Yeet Man, yes, and Kid and okay.
Mhm.
All right. Well, we were saving the main event for you, Phil. So I go ahead. The floor is yours overall. And then when you start the main event, then we'll give our thoughts after you.
So Wrestle Dream functionally was a good wrestling show.
Mm-hmm.
They did what they had to do. People wrestled, people finished, people won.
Mm-hmm.
I only gave a shit about 3 matches. Jay White, Bryan Danielson, and Mariah May and Willow, which in my opinion, Mariah May and Willow was the match of the night, only because even though it was a very quick start, it's the only one that had a story behind it, other than the other 2 we mentioned before. The rest of them were bullshit. First of all, as far as I'm concerned, there is no such thing as the ROH pay-per-view title. It's the ROH TV title. It might as well just be the pay-per-view title because that's the only time we fucking see it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
that's fair.
That is fair. Honestly, it is fair.
Yep.
Right?
Give us the ROH. Give us the ROH Triller title.
I know, right? Just give us that shit. I know at least that.
Or the ROH Max title.
That pissed me off because honestly, I can say we'll get to Dynamite later. But truth be told, I actually don't expect to see Brian Cage. We'll see him for a couple. I think we'll see him for a couple of weeks, and then he's going to disappear. And which is pretty much what they do with every ROH title. The only reason we see
the only reason White Tim says a fake title for that reason.
Exactly. The reason ROH heavyweight title is because it's fucking Mark Briscoe. If it wasn't on Mark Briscoe, we would never see that title.
I agree with
Secondly,
that.
True.
Secondly, and this is the one that everyone loved, and I have to go to. Here's the thing. I will agree with you 100%. The triple threat match for the international title was impressive, but a hand to God, you could have left Ricochet out and got the exact same result. Literally, Ricochet was there as literally decoration.
It's true.
No one here thought Ricochet was going to win. Ricochet's promo before that match was literally the equivalent of the most boring TED Talk I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I love it.
Preach the word, attorney. Preach.
And I shit you not, it would have been a better story if it was Takeshita and Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher screwed him over. Because that way, at the very least, the line makes much more sense. Ricochet, everybody, I don't know about y'all, but I was wondering why Ricochet was even there. He didn't have a storyline with Will Ospreay other than they have a history, which between Takeshita and Ospreay, there is no reason to have Ricochet in there other than we need a third man to bounce around with. Now, physically, the match was beautiful. Some of the best moves I've seen in the match. Could not give 2 shits about it because Ricochet did not serve the story of that match at all. And at this point, for me, it was a distraction for it. Thank you. Willow and Mariah May, even though Willow lost, she had at least 2 weeks to build up to that match with Mariah, even though we were all saying, why did she get a shot? At the very least, there was a narrative there that said she was getting a shot.
Okay.
And we were like, and those 2 wrestled like it was real. They had beef with each other. That's why I enjoyed it. Now, I got no problem, but the problem I had with Tony was a lot of those matches were made literally 3 days before your pay-per-view event, which is you build it in 3 days. especially since you only televise one day.
It's like a fucking,
rampage.
It feels like the first 20. You know, like remember. It's hard to interrupt you, Pepsi Phil, but it feels like the first 24. Like you got 24 hours to fucking get to get that thing. Like you've already 72 hours to giving you the fucking storyline and shit. Like what the fuck?
Darby Brody got to do anything. He has not on how long AEW. He has not an event picture ever. It's really been the background for the shows. Why they fighting him? Secondly, going back to the Danielson Mox match, that was a great match.
He's gone again.
Damn.
That's what happens when you have technical difficulties where you're at, folks.
Right?
I mean, well, there he is. Let me see. He's back. Is he back? Okay, there you are.
Mox did a great job setting up the entire thing. Here's the problem I had. Mox talks about he's tired, and this is before he's tired of egos. He's tired of $1 million deals and everything. There's Darby in there. Why am I supposed to care about Darby? Darby couldn't even hold on to number one contenders right much. He got his ass whooped and lost his number one contenders match. If it was Money in the Bank, we'd be like, well, you suck. But all of a sudden, we forgot about that. But all of a sudden, everybody wants Darby to fight Mox's faction. Why? Because Darby's going to win? He couldn't win the first time by himself. And at this point, I'm pretty sure Marsha could probably whoop his ass at this point.
Fuck.
I think basically the big part of this is it's setting up Darby to do that come from behind stuff, which is what I'm happy about. It's that whole thing of like that.
And I understand that, and that's the thing to do. The problem is he can't do that. He can't be against her. It should work. Swerve, who's has been the face for nearly a year at AEW. He is everything Mox is fighting. He's $1 million athlete. He just got a great deal. He bought a house. He has a huge ego. Which do you care about? What you want to see? Mox versus Swerve or Mox versus Darby? As far as I'm concerned,
that's tough.
Swerve with Daniel and Cassidy lead them against Mox's crew. Because if you think about it, because those guys, the fought lost against Brian, and that guy lost. Brian basically cheated him. So who else are respectful and lost respect? And then Wheeler, you turned on him. Shocker there. No one's coming at all.
Dom said in Phil's defense, he's using a lot of the energy bumping those gums. And that's why.
Damn it, no story. But the point of the matter is that, and honestly, I'm a little annoyed at the fact that Swerve goes against Hurt Syndicate, which is not even a real faction yet. Like, there's obviously a third person coming. That's fine, but it's not a real faction. What are you going to do? Beef with Shelton, get screwed over by what? Bobby Lashley showing up?
I mean,
I'm not even going to get into the fact that why does Swerve have to fight the black faction? I'm just saying.
That's
I'm not. If you want
exactly.
All right, you know what?
As Chef would say, I ain't touching that one.
You know what? I'll tell you because because we know where that direction's going with. Man,
Yeah, but
if we know where it's going with that direction, it's gonna end like it's the debut, of course, Bobby Lashley, and that's what's gonna happen here next week. But we'll get into Dynamite when I'll talk about more details of that.
Truth be told, if you're not going to give the Acclaimed the titles, which is still stupid, if you're not going to give Acclaimed the title, literally so if you're not
Recruit Hobbs.
You might want to check your internet, Phil, because you keep cutting in and out.
Yeah.
I'll work on that in a second. Try this.
Yeah. But while you're doing that right quick, I'm going to let Redeemer talk about the main event. Break it down, brother. What are you? I want to hear your thoughts on that one.
I will say this. Match-wise, I enjoyed it. The ending felt weird. It definitely felt weird because it had that whole situation of it almost felt like it wasn't supposed to go that way. But it left so many people shocked in the moment just because it's like, oh shit, like it literally just happened. Like we did not expect that. We didn't get a hand check, nothing. It just Remsburg did referee's discretion, and that's when he let him go. And that's when he just called it. So in the end, I understand the finish now. I'm not as confused by it as I was by then.
Yeah,
it just felt so out of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, truth be told, overall, Wrestle Dream was anticlimactic. I did not have the same feeling I got from other AEW pay-per-views.
It almost felt like they did it. It almost felt like they did it just to get Danielson out of the situation now.
Yes. Yes. And truth be told, if that was the case, there was no reason to put the belt on him then. You could have just as easily had Mox beat Swerve and have Swerve be the guy who has to fight against Mox's faction.
That makes sense.
It does, because honestly, with all due, Brian didn't need the belt. He didn't want the belt. He literally just wanted to have a great matches all the way till he was done. And this is no offense to Bryan Danielson. I am glad he got one last, although right when I said I'm glad he got one last championship, because truth be told, he is legitimately a GOAT. Like, he is one of the greatest. But the problem I had is storyline wise, it does not make sense. I mean, poetically, yeah, Mox gets to retire somebody who everyone loves. So you're gonna solidify his heel look. But everyone loves Swerve too. So having him beat Swerve would not give him the exact same energy, but still give him like Mox being an asshole. So it's not like it wouldn't give him the same thing. The only problem I have is that I can't, and I'll give him time. Like I said, I will give them time to build up Darby. But at this point in time, Darby against Mox, I have seen it, and Darby failed.
Yes.
Like you had a number one contender slot and you lost. Why should I care about you trying to make a shot?
I think that's what he's doing for the most part, is he's trying to rebuild Darby. Yeah. I think you're right, though. It does not really make sense as to why you put the number one contendership on Darby just to take it off him and put it on Mox. It really makes no sense in the end.
I mean, and the thing I love about it is that you got Daniel Garcia, who lost to Danielson, who honestly already has beef with Wheeler Yuta. You got Orange Cassidy, who honestly he got beef with everybody, but nobody. But the thing is,
he's the cool guy. He's the cool guy. He's the cool from high school, man.
He got high school by Jerry Lynn.
Exactly. That man, Orange Cassidy, for as cool as he is, he always down to whoop somebody's ass. That's the best thing about Orange Cassidy. He always good. He's 100% always good to go.
What up,
And
Dango?
I remember the best, and also
Jordan, Double J, world, elite,
World.
world.
And the only thing about Cassidy that's also great is he has proven himself to be a legit commodity. That run with the international title, still, in my opinion, goes down as probably the best run AEW has had. Stitch.
Stitchy.
So it was. So yeah, like I said, there's a lot of holes that they have left open that I feel like they chose not to jump on. Because, like I said, the Acclaim versus the Hurt Syndicate would be a lot more fun, in my opinion. I think, and going back to the Mark Briscoe Jericho match, I'm with Redeemer. I did not give a shit about it. I will say Briscoe did do a good job with Jericho. Jericho, if he has somebody on his level, will give you a good match. Problem is that the last few weeks, last few months, he's only had newbies and people he's trying to put over. And unfortunately, Jericho's an out-of-ring teacher, but he's not an in-ring teacher, if that makes any sense.
No, it makes sense. But I can tell you one thing that I can compare Jericho now at his age. That who did he idolize his career is who else? Dragon himself, Ricky Stevenson.
Yeah,
that's where he's at this moment, and with his career and what he's doing. And I know how Mr. Pena was saying and how Redeemer was saying, like, yeah, I'm with you guys. The guy should retire. Yeah. But this match that he had with Briscoe, I didn't really give a shit about it either. It just that, but just going back and looking at it again, it was kind of the psychological sense of it reminded me of Ricky Steamboat, and that's what I was like. Oh,
Taker has an interesting take on how he deals with wrestlers. When he's fighting Shawn Michaels, he has said it's one of the few times when he's for him and Triple H where he doesn't have to think about the other guy because the other guy already knows what to do. All he has to do is be the Taker because they already know what to do. Jericho has that problem because he, as good as he is, if someone isn't as good as he is, he has to carry that match, and that match is terrible. I believe the Redeemer can agree with that. And it's not and I hate to say it's not meant, and I'm sorry if it sounds like a slight on Jericho. It's really not. It's just Jericho's a great teacher outside of ring. Like if you want to coach, Jericho's the guy I would definitely go to. Because if I'm in a ring and I'm sitting there and Jericho goes, let me show you a little something. I'm going, okay. But if it's a match where I need to learn something, I am not sure Jericho's the guy I would want doing it because a lot of times he has to do his thing. And my thing, he has to keep my stuff in mind as well. And some wrestlers can't do that.
Yeah, I agree. Kayla.
So that entire night was feeling like, I'm glad I'll go Brian Cage. I'm glad Brian Cage won a title because it's long past due. But here's the problem. We'll see Brian Cage for a couple of weeks, but he's going to disappear.
Oh, easily.
He's going to legitimately disappear, and the ROH TV title is going to disappear.
I'm going to hold that because wait until we get to Dynamite. I'm going to hold myself on that. But
I know. I saw Dynamite, and I was like, okay.
I'm going to hold myself on that one. But
but like that's the thing, though. It's like, and I'm going to go with Takeshita. I am glad he has the international title. It is long past due. Here's the problem I have with that. It would have meant more if Ricochet was not in that match. Ricochet was an unnecessary distraction that Tony only put in there because he wanted to jerk off the fans. No offense, guys, to get privilege to give them what they want. And truth be told, the match on Dynamite was fine, but it's like, no offense to Ricochet. Ricochet Will Ospreay, we had that. We don't need it again. We didn't need it again. And at this point, Ricochet has not built up enough cachet to earn a pay-per-view slot other than his name and the history he had with Will Ospreay. And truth be told, Takeshita has better history with Ospreay because he damn near beat all of the elite back in the day.
And remember that match they had at Wrestle Dynasty was fucking awesome. Exactly. That was a match.
So he had better cachet. So I'm like, for me, I'm watching it going, shit, if Ricochet was not in here, this match would And I know it sounds like I'm shitting on Ricochet, and I apologize. That is not my intention. because Ricochet is a great wrestler. They just presented him terribly in this match. It's a horrible presentation. It is horrible how you presented him. It just is.
Here's a pen, man. Here,
he did really do very little in that match.
Yeah. But here's the thing, though. The Jay White Hangman match, that is a long storyline that honestly is just like Jay White wasn't even around for most of it. But there's enough of, I guess, a small story. It's not the most original story, but it's a good story. He took me out. I came back for revenge. It works. And Hangman and Jay White, first of all, we all love Jay White. And we've been looking for this Jay White for so long, it's not even funny.
No, you're right. Yeah, absolutely. You're right.
Jay White showed up and we was like, oh shit, we back in Japan. The fuck?
I like that idea though, Henry. I'm with you on that.
Yes.
I think like that would be Ricochet, unfortunately, needs a better mouthpiece.
Listen, if you go back to the freaking pandemic era kind of stuff when WWE and everything, the first thing I said, I've been saying that forever when the Hurt Business was around, that Ricochet should have joined them.
Yep. So times. But like I said, and I go back to Mariah May and Willow, which is still, in my opinion, the match of the night for me. First of all, Willow was amazing. Mariah May always amazing. They put on a banger of a match as far as I was concerned. Like they had a great story, and Willow literally sold the shit out of it, as did Mariah May. Like she was a terrible person in that match, not in a bad way, but as a heel, she was a terrible person. So, but like the rest of the matches, I mean, I know we give Triple H a lot of shit for the 5-match pay-per-view he does, but at least all 5 of those matches have a story. Now, whether we like those stories remains to be seen. That's always going to be subjective. But there's always a solid story to get vested in. Like one of those, I don't care about this story, but I'm vested in it. I care about the story because I'm vested in it. With Tony, the only problem with Wrestle Dream is that you had some of the best talents you've had, and what you did not do, and right now we'll blame Jimmy Jacobs for that, because Jimmy Jacobs was the lead writer for him, and he resigned. Which I don't think that man resigned. I think he was let go.
No, he left. He left. He left.
With what? With the audacity of what? Poor writing?
I wouldn't call it all of it fully, but I can tell you that of what I would say just off air about that.
When you say he left, when you say he left, do you mean he was fired and they opened the door and then he walked out? Because that's what I see happening.
I see it happening because I feel like he probably got frustrated. But I mean, until that story is told more details, then we can debate about that.
Here's the reason I'm sitting on Jimmy Jacobs.
Okay.
Okada was not in Wrestle Dream. What the fuck? What the fuck? Don't call yourself the head writer and you can't figure out a way to put Okada in Wrestle Dream.
Didn't he left before Wrestle Dream?
Yeah, but think about it. He wrote the storylines up to Wrestle Dream and then left. And when I say before Wrestle Dream, he left a week before Wrestle Dream. He left. So no, technically, as far as I'm concerned, no. Because think about it. If you can have Jack Perry and Shibata, who literally just held up a phone and said, "I'll see you at Wrestle Dream," you can't think of a way for Okada to come into this match at all?
Yeah, that's true.
I'm not saying you're wrong about that. You're right.
Considering how much money you spent for Okada, you don't need to have him fight every Dynamite, but you damn sure need him to fight every pay-per-view.
Well, I guess we can officially say that we can take the your bullshit Tony Khan thing and direct it to Jimmy Jacobs right now. For a little bit.
There you go. You're bullshit, Jimmy Jacobs.
Bullshit.
So you can tell right now, Wrestle Dream really did piss me off because, like, it was not the fact that these were not good wrestlers. Everyone wrestled great. It was the fact that they did not give them the support that they needed.
Okay.
That was the issue. That's the issue I had. These guys needed great stories. Because I would tell you right now, the MJF Daniel Garcia thing, You could have did that on Dynamite.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not lying there.
You could have did that shit on Dynamite.
I mean,
I appreciate Adam Cole coming back, but I swear to God, they could have did that shit on Dynamite.
Would have popped their freaking show more recognition.
Exactly.
I mean, go ahead, Redeemer. You were still talking about the main event.
Yeah. All right. The main event. That's you, man.
Yeah, like I said, I enjoyed the main event. I understand the ending more, and I honestly think like it was the right. Just like Brian basically went out one hell of a way by just saying, "Hey, listen, just murder me. I'm good." Like, it is very bizarre. Like again, we have me and Phil just like we all just talked about right now. It felt like this show at this point, like earlier with Darby being in that match with Brody, it was basically to start building up Darby while also basically removing Danielson from this whole situation.
Yeah.
When that's just like, and I understand that whole situation. It's just, I agree with what Phil said though. There was kind of, if that was the case, you still could have gotten to the same point without giving Danielson the title and then basically making no sense of taking the number one contendership from Darby or even putting it on him to begin with if you were just going to take it off him. Like Tony's still got so many freaking confusing situations here. Like most of it, like in the end, it makes sense, but there's still a lot of what ifs.
Yeah.
Always.
That's very true.
That's just like, it's basically where I just kind of leave it at. Cause I always feel on the shows is just, we get these amazing matches, which is what Tony loves to do. And that's give a lot of amazing wrestling. And it's like he tries to start telling stories at the end, but then after that, it's just a jumbled mess. And that's the part where I don't get, because now it's like so many different pieces. It's like he added so many unnecessary parts to a story when he could basically have gone the same exact route without taking these extra parts and just added it in there.
Yeah. I mean, I'm with you on that. That's probably the only, like, it's very unbalanced right there in that, because it's like, what direction you're going. But then again, like, I'm kind of thinking, you know, I even though I digressed on Saturday, but I kind of like had it this weekend to kind of over, you know, I had to hear everybody else's opinions. I even heard Bully Ray's opinion and Busted Open. He kind of gave me like, all right, I kind of get it, what he said. He made a valid point. And then, so I kind of get it. Like, he's supposed to, at the same time, make you that way to be like, what's going to be next? I need to tune in. So it's a 50-50 there, because it pisses us off because it's not telling you the direction of the story. And then it gets us intriguing at the same time, invested, because where are you going with this? I need to see where is this going. So it's a roller coaster on that. I'm with you. I'm not saying you're wrong about that. But the one thing I can say about this main event, though, and you know what I thought about? I thought about this story like and people are going to be like, what? I thought about this movie because it brought me back to this movie. Remember Jean-Claude Van Damme, Bloodsport, Part 1. Remember when his best friend got his fucking paralyzed because of the big guy, right?
Yes.
And then that's when, of course, Jean-Claude decided to go ahead and train and started getting ready to face this guy, who's the one who paralyzed his fucking his brother, pretty much it was, and then beat him towards the end. It feels like this type of way of the story with Darby, because we know when we said it on Saturday, we saw the cameras was pointed at two guys, which mainly was Orange and Darby Allin, and just the way how they gave that look was just like shit, like, oh man. So it kind of like throws it to me in a way, even though in this in real life, of course, they're not brothers, not none of that, or they even became their best friends or any of that. But I see something that Brian will come back and show Darby the way of the technician style and aggressiveness that Darby doesn't know. I mean, don't get me wrong. Darby has his aggressiveness already, his own style. But now when it comes to the ring style, technical style, what Moxie has. So that's why I feel like why it reminded me about Bloodsport for that reason. Because like he said, no! Because when I saw that picture, he's all tied up with a tape, duct tape. And he was like, no! And Claudio's stuff. And I don't know why. It brought up to me because I saw going to the TV, you know how they always play old school. Then I saw it. Wait a minute, this story kind of reminds me of fucking Bryan Danielson and Darby in a way, Bloodsport in a way of that story, and it kind of makes sense a little bit, but then it doesn't because like how I know how Phil said, like then what the fuck was the point of taking away from the number one contendership? But then again, for me, it's like now the focus is going to be as how you're going to get him to that point to get to the title. I think that's where we're going to get us invested on that. You
literally just said that ending shot when Brian is getting stretchered out. The 4 people that are basically in that scene or in that still image are Hook, Orange Cassidy, Daniel Garcia, and Darby Allin. This is Tony now that fucking Jimmy Jacobs is gone, which get the fuck out if you're not going to be that guy.
The banger, baby.
Banger.
The banger.
Feel better.
Yes. Feel better, brother.
If you're now, Tony has the opportunity to push those 4 young guys.
Right.
Which is great.
And I see Santana's on TNA, but Solo, no Ortiz, of course. Man. That's going to be the way But Phil, I don't know you heard me. I don't know you heard me when I
heard no, that's actually a really good way. Like I said, if he can build up Darby, which is it requires a long form storytelling.
Yeah, it does.
At this point, if you think about it, the longest story Darby has had is being Sting's wingman.
Yes. Yes.
And so they're going to have to do a lot of work with Darby because right now, I don't believe in Darby. I believe in him. He's a good wrestler. I think he's great. I thought him and Brody King, that was great. The way he won was also great. Mox is a whole different animal, and he has proven he can't beat that man.
No, and that's why I kind of compared it to that Bloodsport film for that reason, because of that. Because like I said, like I was telling Justin, I was like, unless Brian decides to take him under his wing and showing him that way to get to Moxley, which I don't know if they're gonna book it at World's End or Revolution. I have no idea how they're gonna do it.
It can't be at World's End.
Well, yeah, exactly what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying is how you said it. Like we're saying now, the intriguing part in this situation is how they're gonna build it for Darby to get up there. Yeah. That's now we're gonna get us invested how that story's gonna be told, and that's where I'm gonna be like, all of us gonna be like, okay, now see what you're doing, and that's where it questions. It got us now invested in this story. Got us invested on that specifically. Is now okay? You got us to this point. Now where are you gonna get this guy to get to that the cream of the crop, baby, to be on the top? Where are you gonna get into that?
The other inconsistency they have is that if it's gonna be Daniel Garcia, who's also in that mix, is he just gonna forgive or forget about MJF and let Adam Cole deal with him? Because the way Daniel Garcia has been wrestling, he don't seem to let stuff go easily. So, like I said, there is they've started a lot of stuff. And yeah, Darby can be.
I said that. Remember when I said that?
Darby can be Sting. However, remember, Sting had to go through a rebrand.
Orange
is DDP.
I mean, it's not wrong. It's not wrong.
Lex Luger and get an early title shot, maybe a quick win and loss. Dan, don't say that.
Yeah, I mean, but like I said, if you look at that, that night, what did we get?
Remember, he didn't beat MJF. TK.
He
fucking just got the revenge on him for not trusting him.
Then remember, and MJF just screwed him over during the night during Wrestle Dream. And granted, it's good for Adam Cole that he came back because Adam Cole has a storyline, but at the same time, I'm just curious how they're building this up because at this point in time, the players, the BCC side or whatever the hell they're calling Mox stuff, his side is solid. Everyone over there is solid.
Yeah.
So I got no problem with that side. However, but again, I think that's all Moxley's doing. Like, I think that's all him, like, going to the writers going, this is what we're doing.
I think he is, because remember, I think all of us kind of agreed to that seeing the promos, seeing like how he's telling this story.
Exactly.
Fuck, man, it's amazing. It's just like, hell yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But the concern I have is they need to give that man something to work with.
Well, we'll get to Dynamite for that, and I'll give my thoughts on that. But one thing I wanted to add to this thing is what Bully Ray said on Busted Open, and he made a valid point. That's what got to me, like when he said everybody wants a great ending, but when is it? How you said it earlier, how they've been giving us that, right? But we never got this before, and that's what Bully Ray is saying. You're not gonna get the hometown hero. Yes, people fucking spend money on their, to go witness a great matchup, and was given a flat ending. Like, what happened here? That was it. Like, you submitted, that was it. You passed out. What the fuck? It wasn't a great matchup, like what people expected, and people were disappointed. I'm like, yeah, it's just he made valid points. I'm not saying he's wrong, and it was flat. It was literally fucking flat. Like, that was it. Like, what? We knew that we was gonna lose, but we did not expect him to lose to this way.
Yes. So
I'll have to unfortunately give credit to what Bully Ray said. Mainly credit Tony Khan, because or whoever was idea was to end it that way. How you said it probably was Brian, who's the one that said it. That maybe he was the one saying, I wanted to end it this way. Like, what the fuck? Like, but on your hometown to end it that way? But I kind of get it though. So that's why, like, when Bully Ray said that, and then for me, like, seeing that Bloodsport, I'm like, okay, now it fucking makes sense. It's a fucking movie in a way. So, and you know how Tim said on the chat, like, it's just the Sting type of story when he finally won the title against Flair, Bash to Beach, 92, I think it was. So it's kind of like heading to that direction in a way. So it just, for me, when it comes to that story, and I think we all agree on, is to see how they're going to really build Darby to head that direction. I think that's where our concern is how is Tony Khan going to do it? I think that's pretty much what we could say, right? I mean, or you guys feel different on that one?
Like, just picture Darby going out there after he's been built up when he finally gets to Moxley and like literally goes, I will die trying to take that title off of you. Like, you can't tell me that man will not have anybody fucking convinced that they will be behind him to win the world title.
Yeah.
All heel wrestling.
All heel wrestling. Speaking of all heels, fuck it, let's just get into it. Any final thoughts so we can move to Dynamite?
No, let's get to Dynamite. Let's give it hell.
Let's give it fucking hell. It's time.
It's time. It's time. It's Vader time.
Dynamite. That's right. Dynamite. It happened 24 hours ago. And I'm not gonna say, I'm gonna let Redeemer fucking take over this one, because he's been dying he's been holding himself forever. Like, you know what? I'm gonna let our host here with the most coast to coast give him what he had to say. But this is the card, of course, folks, that we had. We did have this. We had Moxley. Nobody is safe. Main event was Jay White, Christian. We did have Kyle O'Reilly, Orange Cassidy, and Rock and Metal versus the Elite. We had Monet and Queen Ominata. We had FTR versus Big Bill, and Brian Keys. We had Shelton versus Leo, Real Rush, and Adam Cole returning. So, Redeem, I'm going to give it to you, man, because I know you've been dying to fucking let it out, and I want you to let it out. Let the people know how the hell you felt about Dynamite, because I think people are curious to hear you.
I will just be giving you some flat out honesty here. This show was straight up ass. And I mean that. Yeah. I'm sorry. Like I said, I really enjoyed Wrestle Dream. I really did. And you came off that show and gave us this. This was terrible. Fucking terrible. Like, Moxley's little promo in the video package in the beginning. Okay. Right now, we feel like we're just spinning wheels with this whole thing, really. Like, we're still kind of doing stuff with, like, Darby and everybody else, which I understand. But it feels like Moxley's whole situation is just spinning wheels. He's just kind of going, he's just in the same place, going nowhere with absolutely no fucking like anything so far. It's just more and more of like, oh, eventually who's gonna be the guy? Who's the higher power? I'm telling you, if we're gonna get a fucking AEW version of the higher power, oh boy, if that, because that fucking storyline originally was rough in its own right, and now you're gonna give us AEW's version of it. Please don't. Cole's
honestly,
go for it, Phil. Go ahead.
Tim, no, they did not. They did not really explain why Cage was there.
No, there was nothing. Literally nothing.
They just threw him there.
Yeah, because hi, Brian Cage, you have a title. Let's put you on TV.
That's what it felt like, pretty literally. Like, hey,
literally,
you have a title. Comes with the family.
I will say this: Adam Cole. I was expecting him to give me one. I wanted him to give me the full-on reason as to why I should be backing this man. And I'm watching it, and I'm listening to what he's saying, and I got nothing. It still gives us zero reason as to why we should be backing Adam Cole all of a sudden. Like, the one thing Adam Cole could have literally said that could have easily just made up all the sense in the world, that could have been like, now I know why I'm backing Adam Cole in here, is if he literally just talked about his fucking leg injury, the thing that kept him out. The one thing, all he had to do was go out there and say, listen, I fucking broke my foot for you. Like, we were buddies. I came out there to encourage you. And in the process of doing that, I shattered my entire fucking foot for you. And then basically you came back and showed everybody that you're still the piece of shit that you are. Like, why is that not the easiest explanation that Adam Cole could have given us instead of just, I hate you? Like, what? That gave us nothing. Yeah. Cole just basically, like, we have to get something in the coming weeks of Cole giving us that explanation. That's the one thing that can solve this entire thing, that'll tell you why Cole should be, everybody should be behind Adam Cole now all of a sudden. Yes, Cole turned his back on MJF by revealing that he was the devil. We understand. Now at this point, it's sadly going to have to come to the situation where we're all just going to have to basically erase the devil storyline and everything else associated with it out of our fucking memories. Now it's just, we got to freaking give an explanation for Cole, and that is it. But other than that, they didn't give us one, and it fucking sucked. It was really bad. Jericho and fucking Mark Briscoe again. Fucking why? How is this making any goddamn sense when you go, hey, I beat you on a pay-per-view, I'll give you a rematch? I'm sorry, what?
Yep,
Mark,
we were like this.
I cannot believe this shit.
You damn right I was. I was freaking losing I was flipping my lid. Are you kidding? I hate this shit. Why is Mark Briscoe trapped in this shit? Get him out of this already. FTR versus the rest of the learning tree. Hello, random match. Nice to meet you. Fucking random as shit. I didn't care because, again, it had learning tree stuff. And again, I like FTR, and I have my issues with FTR once in a freaking blue moon because, you know, Tony likes to just be like, hit the FTR button, tag team titles involved, press the button. Other than that, I like FTR. I like Bill and Brian Keith separately, but as long as they're fucking around with Chris Jericho, they can absolutely join him and just fuck the fuck off at this point.
I feel like being like Brian Keith. He said, "Fuck off!" All right. I feel like just being that way, like with Brian Keith.
The Outrunners showing up after the match, like, okay, everyone loves the Outrunners right now. Congratulations, they were there to just give us the whole them? Like.
No, we're here. Right? What did you do? Okay.
They gave us that whole situation of just, oh, cool, here's the Outrunners, and I was like, oh, okay. that's a thing. Cool. Mercedes and Queen Aminata. Me and Phil were talking about this off air. Queen Aminata was the best part of this match. Literally.
Thank you.
The best part of this match.
Yeah.
Like, she literally made Mercedes look freaking awful because she's literally, it was like embarrassing to watch this because, again, Mercedes really hasn't been enjoyable at all. Not a bit. Like, it just feels like there's nothing to it.
Yeah,
Nothing.
I'm so with you on that. And you want to hear what Tommy Dreamer said about that? And from Busted Open, when he said about that, he literally said, like, because, you know, LaGreca was like, no, well, look, like, she hasn't won me over, and I'm sorry, she's a bust. And he defends her saying, well, remember, she came from an injury, and, you know, she just, you know, getting her taste and everything. But I'm sorry, I had to disagree with Tommy Dreamer on that.
We are removed from her. We were like, what, months removed from her injury?
Yeah, I mean,
so why are we still using the injury thing as a freaking
as an excuse? Yeah, I'm so with you on that. I'm
no.
with you. Yeah, it's an excuse. It just, yeah. Go ahead.
It's just crazy because, again, we got nothing out of Statlander showing up for that, and again, that's fucking random as its own right as to why she's all of a sudden interjected in that situation. The Acclaimed stuff backstage with Shelton and MVP, it feels like we're teasing an Acclaimed breakup, which fucking why are we teasing an Acclaimed breakup? That is awful idea.
Sorry, but look what Tim just said.
Yes. Boom. Yes. Absolutely. Yes. The conglomeration and the elite. I feel bad for the conglomeration being involved in this. Like, it went nowhere. It was literally just to get a BCC beatdown again, which again just feels like we're spinning our wheels. My other big incident, like a big issue with it right now, is the fucking roster. Why? What the hell is this? Private Party, fucking Top Flight, and the Dark Order are the ones out of all this. And then, like, the rest of the roster decides to show up after basically everybody's been beaten down. Like, make fucking sense out of this shit.
Yeah.
It's not making sense at all because it just is like, you're telling me the rest of this gigantic roster is not freaking being on their toes to be like, oh, listen, BCC's going around beating the shit out of all of us. We need to make sure that we're freaking prepared for all of this. We should all stick together, minus the elite, because my other fucking concern is going to be at this whole situation is going to be trying to turn the elite babyface, which please do not give me babyface elite versus heel BCC.
Oh, you got to get a babyface Ratatouille. Yeah, that's super kick, everybody. Yeah.
Oh, my God. That would be awful.
When have we ever seen Ratatouille and Simpsons being fucking a babyface on their cartoon?
Hell no.
Blame Tony Khan. Sure, there you go. That's right. Get your podcast. That's right.
Shelton Benjamin's debut. Fantastic. Literally fantastic. Shelton Benjamin is incredible.
Stupendous.
Yes. Wonderful. If you
yeah, I got you. There you go. Where is it? Damn it. Oh, damn it. There you go.
Wonderful.
And I'll even give it to Leo Rush. The guy did freaking damn good in there, and he made Shelton look like $1 million because he got to get tossed around like a freaking rag doll.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But I can tell you that Pepsi Phil was thinking about the song Murder, She Wrote. Murder, She Wrote.
We'll talk about my opinion of Dynamite as well.
I know.
I'll get to the end of this here for you.
Yeah,
Phil,
take it. No, go ahead. Go ahead. I mean, you're already
Callis. Yes,
you're basically saying everything I'm thinking right now. So go ahead.
The Don Callis situation, like segment. Listen, watching the show last night when they threw that in there, I go, is this truly fucking necessary to have on the show? Like, it felt like nothing. Like Brian Cage being out there again just feels like, hi, Brian Cage is out there. Did you know he's a champion? Here you go. Just so you don't forget him. Fucking Lance Archer is still randomly there. Well, Jake Roberts is hanging out with LFI, fucking promoting Newports. Like,
See, I'm not a heavy smoker like he is. I'm cool. Only when I drink.
Mariah May backstage getting an encounter with Anna Jay. Okay, so now Anna Jay is going to get a title match because congratulations, you went to Japan for a little bit. Like, okay, Tony, make more fucking sense out of this, please, because you're not at all.
Wait, was it you who said that was the worst fucking slap you had ever seen?
Oh no, but it was terrible. It was god awful. Oh my god!
Literally, if you take that one and then look at Jada Parker's slap from NXT a few weeks back, you're going,
"Oh my god,
God,
it's night and day there."
I mean, in Anna Jay's defense, she really was trying, though.
I know. I give her that.
Lennox, my man, what's going on, brother?
What's good, Lennox? And the main event. I figured I would be at least slightly excited for a random Jay White and Christian match. But the huge fucking botch in the middle of it, of just like either Kip Sabian or Hangman or both of them jumping the gun too damn soon. I don't know whose fault is that one. I don't have any idea. It really played a big piece into the matchup. I just didn't give a shit. And I felt bad because it's Jay White, and I want to see that guy going to get more wins and elevating himself back up to the main eventer that he was and that we know he is. And he's over here losing to Christian, but I understand because it's building the Hangman story. It's for more of that. So
there's a bigger issue I have with that one as well that I'm gonna let you may get to in a second, but if not, I'll hit on it.
It's
I
did not like it. I just did not like any of it. The show was a awful follow-up for most people that just basically said, yeah, I actually really enjoyed it. Yours truly enjoyed Wrestle Dream, and I expected to get something out of this. And again, it just felt like Tony booking the show to just give us a show. And that was it.
Yeah. Okay. I gotta. So if I may, please.
Go for it, Phil.
All right.
There is not a goddamn thing to redeem.
Before you do, I'm gonna. Where the fuck is this clip? Because I need to hear this. I already know that this shit. It is. Yes, it is.
Shit's about to hit the fan.
So everything Redeemer said is absolutely right, because there's only two moments in that entire fucking night that I cared about. Mox's promo is the typical one he always does, and I'm not mad at him about that because that's his job. But the Queen Amanada and Shelton Benjamin were the only two highlights of that entire fucking night.
Mm-hmm.
And in my opinion, Queen Amanada legitimately embarrassed Mercedes Moné.
Yes. 1000%.
Only because legitimately she looked crisp, she looked sharp, and her moves, even though there was a little bit of an awkward moment during their match, she still looked like she was in control.
Mm-hmm.
But and I'm with Chef on this one. Last night, Dynamite truly was ass.
Mm-hmm.
Shelton Benjamin's debut, that was the Shelton Benjamin that was in Japan. That's what I saw.
He was incredible.
Exactly. Like there was nothing I saw in Shelton Benjamin that went, honestly, if they were smart, we would get a Shelton Benjamin Will Ospreay.
Oh my God, I would die.
Exactly. Can
Tony,
you imagine?
Tony, do it.
Can you imagine that one? How about instead of having a Ricochet triple threat match with Christian Ospreay, you had Shelton Benjamin, Will Ospreay, and Takeshita? That right there, at the very least, would be way more interesting.
I just keep thinking he's 49 years old and he looks incredible.
Exactly. Now, here's the thing about the main event that pisses me off. Jay White and Christian, for the most part, I was not bothered by the match. But does anybody remember that Christian has a shot at the championship he's walking around with.
Mm-hmm.
He has a number one contendership, which at this point means nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go back 2 pay-per-views, 3 pay-per-views, what was the fucking point of giving it to him?
Remember, everybody said that night when he won that fucking contract. What was the point of Christian winning the fucking thing?
Even now, it makes less sense as it did back then, because he's not going to go after Mox, and we're not going to have a patriarchy versus the BCC. So what is the point of Christian walking around showing off that contract?
See, TK just said exactly what I was going to fucking say.
Yeah.
Darby's gonna win the title from Moxley eventually, and that's when
Yeah.
Christian's gonna use the fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
Which again, I mean, okay, it's a thing you could do, but truth be told, it'd be more anticlimactic. And again, in my opinion, that is a shitty place to put Christian, because Christian literally has been the bright spot in AEW for almost the moment he entered, the moment he turned heel.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even though versus Jericho, like, if you take the fact that Christian is a little bit older, and you are right, Justin, there was a botch in there, and let's just face it, his matches, like, they do tend to be a little awkward sometimes. But honestly, his promos are good, and the storyline that he builds always works. Is it a one-trick pony? Yes. Do we care? No. Because
you even notice the cameras. Remember, the cameras like went 1 second to Kip and then right away to the ring. I'm like,
exactly. But the thing is, Christian knows how to run a storyline, so which is why he always does a good job with it. Right now, I do not understand why he has a number one contendership. I do not know why he's even showing it off. If you're gonna have it be a surprise where he takes it from Darby and ruins it, stop having him brag about the fucking thing. Have that shit go away, and don't talk about it until Darby wins, and then have Christian run out at the last minute and beat the shit out of him, heist of the century style.
All I think about is TNA. Back then, when James Storm won a Feast or Fired briefcase for a tag team title match, and he never had it on television.
Yes.
For like months on end until finally he freaking pulled it out and used it. And I was like, oh my God, that man's a fucking genius.
Exactly. Because you forgot it was there, and that was the pop. Like, oh shit.
I forgot. Who did he beat? Bobby Roode, right? For the belt? Was it Bobby Roode?
No, this is when he won a tag team title match.
Oh, okay. I thought it was me.
Yeah. So right now while I enjoyed the Jay White and Christian match for what it was, the Hangman thing didn't make sense. I mean, I appreciate Hangman coming in because I know storyline, that's a good move. I mean, Christian went over, fine. That just makes Hangman Jay White storyline a little more juicy. But true.
Oh shit!
I agree totally with Heartbreak, Lawyer, Superman, Lover.
But the problem I have is that you're sitting there going, so what are we going to do? Have Christian just running around beating up people with a contract in his hand, not using it until Darby wins?
I was expecting more like a Jay White type of style, like how New Japan that he ended up taking it away from. I forgot who he took it away, the IWGP, and he ended up catching the following day for Wrestle Kingdom 92. I would have kind of expecting that type of.
I mean, truth of the matter is right now, I don't think AEW has been messier than it is right now.
Yeah,
like going all the way down, it's messy as fuck. And honestly, and it's not like one of those things where you like saying everything's a surprise. It's literally one of those things where it's like, I can't wait to see y'all clean this shit up.
The question
that's literally what I am. Like, and I said before, John Moxley's BCC, because he's in charge of it, it's the tightest thing on this ship.
Okay, so you want to know what's Dynamite? I mean, even though we don't talk about that because we don't care about it, like how Pete Shit Seltzer and Alvarez does. 633 viewers, and the demographics was 18 to 49 rating, 20%. I
mean, no matter what happens, they're always going to lose to NXT because NXT has CW, which has the largest demographic.
That was AEW's review.
No, that's what I'm saying. AEW, it does not matter when AEW goes, even if they don't go against NXT, always going to lose that demographic because the truth of the matter is, and you can complain about WWE style all you want, and Max Meltzer loves complaining about it, but the truth of the matter is,
you heard him today, I was
But truth be told, we're conditioned to understand that we need a story.
Thank you.
Not a big story, but just a story.
Thank you.
Right now, even if people don't understand it and they don't even know what a plot line is or how a wrestling storyline works, they know something's missing from a match.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Like, because here's the thing. If we take the ratings and television out of it, how many times do you think people turn on the AEW, watch it, and at certain points just fast forward through certain matches just to see how it goes?
Mm-hmm.
Because there is no story and there's no reason to care about it. Like going back to Wrestle Dream, Mortos and Hologram, great match. I don't know these people. I don't know what the fuck they doing. Literally, at one point, a friend of mine was sitting with me while we were doing the rewatch, and I swear to God, he literally said, "Is this a Power Ranger reboot?" Because
I love that.
Mortos looks like a Rita Repulsa enemy minion. Hologram looks like one of the Power Rangers, and he had to make up a story to make it interesting.
I need somebody. I need somebody female. Any one of the females there. Probably Julia. I'll take Julia Hart when she comes back. I need Julia Hart to just show up by freaking Beast Mortos and just throw something at him and just have her scream, "Make my monster grow." I will.
I love that. I love that.
So now here's the interesting.
I need to hear it.
Now here's the interesting thing. Even though we made fun of Anna Jay, truth be told, I don't know who's running the women, but all the women have storylines.
Kenny Omega.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all the women have storylines. They're not long. They may be a little bit like the Willow thing where she lost and still got a shot is one thing, but they all have storylines and narratives we can get behind.
Mm-hmm.
Like even the Anna Jay one, even though it was a little awkward with the slap, but still, it was a thing. Like I want to keep giving Anna Jay shit because she's come a long way and her work in Japan was amazing, and I'm glad
she did do a fantastic job.
She did.
So,
I'm not gonna give her credit. I'll give her credit.
Yeah, but the thing about it is they all have stories. Even though we are not happy with Mercedes Moné, that exchange she had in the back with Queen Aminata was great. Mm-hmm. Mostly because I believe in Queen Aminata. Her character is so solid. I love that character.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say the same thing about Mercedes, but that's another story. But truth be told, every woman that they've had a storyline with has a thing. Like it has a story. The rest of the dudes, man, I don't know what the fuck the Acclaim doing. Private Party, I will give them credit. The thing they're doing with my mans is cute, but they look like they're gonna break up Private Party.
So does Mortos remind you of this man right here? Looks like you can see it. I heard Power Rangers. You see that? What was that?
Fucking Goldar.
Ranger.
I love chefs. If Julia Hart is Rita Repulsa, then who's Lord Zed? Jake Roberts.
Is that what he said? Oh my god!
You're right now.
That's why that Jake Roberts is Lord Zed.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, I'll give you that for sure. That Shelton did a good job, and I've decided Queen Aminata, Sky, and Anna need to join NXT. Oh my god! I rather have
6-woman tag match. Put them in a 6-woman tag match with Nikita Lyons, Miss Parker, and Lola Vice.
Oh my god! I'll be Asamania, Nagamania running wild. Baby.
Jesus
like,
God!
Oh my god! I'm with you, puppy, right there. But man, I mean, you guys, I can't really add to it. Me in this situation, really more in this one, yeah. I'll say one thing about what Lennox said about Shelton. Yes, that was a Shelton that Shelton Benjamin wanted to see, that we haven't seen in a long time. Since it reminded me, I don't know why. It kind of reminded me a little bit when he made his Raw debut. Remember when he made his Raw debut during the draft against Triple H, and then he won. He beat Triple H for. And the man, I don't give a damn what anybody says. That man's T-bone suplex still looks like fucking it hurts. Fuck yeah, I love it. And then seeing that knee that he gave to Leo Rush, I was like, damn. Oh, okay. But I think we are. You said it. You said it yourself, Redeemer, that Leo Rush would end up joining because he posts on social media on Twitter. He's like, oh, he's got the MVP card. Yeah, that means you're gonna go over there with fucking. You'll be like Bobby. We already know that's happening.
God,
I see that fucking happening. Yes, now I got Mania puppy. Yes,
Assamania.
Yeah, Assamania is running wild. I'm like, wouldn't Jake the Snake be the master vial? But he's much older. But yes, he would have been Chef. Like, oh yeah, Tim. We all died heart attacks for all that. Kid.
Yep.
Yes, that's very true. Oh my God. I mean, that's probably the only thing I can say. I'm happy for Shelton. What I wanted to say also about the Outrunners theme song. Doesn't the Outrunners theme song reminds you a little bit like the beat of the Rockers theme song in a way? I don't know. Like in a way. I'm just saying a little way.
Yes.
A little bit. But I'm gonna give them credit though. I mean, hey, at least they're getting with the fans over.
They're over, which is good.
They needed that, so I was like, and I'm so with you. Said they got to do something with the Titan division. They need to do something. I don't know. I don't get it.
Hell, book the Outrunners. Book the Outrunners to beat the Bucks. Do it.
I wouldn't mind that either. I wouldn't mind that either. With the Queen of Monada one, and yes, I think she was the one that really showed up there. It kind of showed them when they and to talk about like what Dreamers, and I disagree because yes. How you both said for me it is an excuse. It's too much. That was too much time for you to get used to the chemistry and telling stories. I feel that still what her problem is, it comes down to, well look here you go. What do you think about this? And she's upset with her producer. What do you think? I don't know, like shit like that. No, like why? Look, I'm not discrediting her credentials. It just for me is like. You're in a different product where you need to make your name out of yourself something. Me, there's things that I don't agree at all, and I always give him shit, piece of shit seltzer, but I have to unfortunately agree with him what he said today. And it's like, when you go to a different promotion, you make a name out of yourself, people are loving you. And he compared both, and I was waiting for him to say somebody's name. He says Shelton's Benjamin, about him going from WWE. They weren't doing shit. It was burying him. When to AEW, the crowd was crazy for him. He was there live in attendance. He's like, it's kind of like how Ethan Page, nothing in the AEW, and now he's WWE and there's something. So for once, you said something right, you piece of shit. So I mean, I'm so happy for you. So I'll take that from you. But I agree. Like with Monet in this one is like, fuck. It's just like you're not telling us stories here for your title. Or you're walking around that you're badass, you won this belt in not even 6 months, way less than that, and you're thinking you're the shit. A mid-card title that we expecting for it to be somewhere compared to, I know I shouldn't compare it to Jade Cargill, but at least Jade Cargill gave us challenges weekly as much, and her story was how many the Goldberg style, how many undefeated and undefeated 0 and okay, but she gave us something. Here, where we're going? Oh, who are you? Get the fuck out of here with that shit. And then your promos, it's like it's the same shit as WWE. You haven't changed nothing. There hasn't been nothing for me to be impressive and be like, oh my god, that's a good promo. No, there hasn't been. Part of the only thing that has been, was the one with the Britt Baker. That was it. But other than that, there hasn't been anything else out of that. That's why we need Athena to show up and fucking challenge her. I think Athena will be the World's End if Athena defeats Mercedes Moné at World's End. I'd rather have Athena do it.
I agree.
That story to go with is have Moné beat Billy Starks, and then it get back to Athena. Oh hell no! You beat my minion, I'm going over there, and that's when she shows up, and boom, let's have it. Then that's just gonna be a story that I would love to see. But I know Athena will bury her on the promos. I can see that. And even if she's a heel, let it be a heel versus heel. But I guarantee you that it's gonna work, and it's gonna put over Athena very, very much in AEW Dynamite. That Tony Khan's gonna consider. You know what? I should bring her to Dynamite. Yes, you should, and have her feud, because you're not gonna, if you're planning to fail with Britt Baker on this situation because of her personal issues, which I don't. It is what it is. You know, we could give our opinions about it, but what can we do? I mean, it is what it is. She made that decision. That's her decision. It is what it is. What she decides. But I mean, I think that's the best way to build that TBS title, because Mariah May is doing a way better job of that fucking title more than Monet is with the mid-card title. Even though, yes, we bitch about that there's no story into heading into getting the world title, but at least she's giving matches, grade A matches. I'm not saying that Monet doesn't do the same, but at least Mariah is. Which is fine. But I'm just saying is like, at least she's telling story in the ring, and it's showing why Mariah is a world champion. This one's really more like, I'm sorry. I just didn't feel that match. The ending of it was Queen of Amanada Monet. Like, you really tapped out that fucking quick. Like, I needed something more, because Amanada looked great. I'm a big fan of Amanada.
Did you hear JR's comment on Mercedes Monet?
Oh God, what did he say?
What did he say?
So JR basically said, "I just don't feel it."
That's the problem. It's just there's no feeling, Phil.
Now he did. He was nice. He goes, "I didn't feel it." I think she said she makes a cool. Like, I don't see her as a cool face or a cool heel, but she is very cool.
She's just like your high school, want to be pretty girl. Like, oh, I'm better than everybody. Like, who are you?
But the thing is that's the worst indictment you can give somebody in wrestling.
So what the fuck? So you have a producer who could write your stories, and this is the best you got? I'm sorry, it's not. She need to figure something out. I'm just saying.
It's just not. Nothing she's given us has been intriguing, because, again, like I said, I feel like I feel like I've been saying this the whole time. It's too much too soon.
Yeah.
It kind of just gave us everything so fucking fast. It was like, as soon as she got to the company, it's just, we got to give her a title. We got to give her a title. Oh, we got to get that title off of freaking Stephanie Vaquer. We got to give her that. Like, because that's what the original freaking thing was for her. They wanted to give her the strong women's title. We'll give her the strong women's title. Like, it's just, it's all too freaking soon, too fast, because everybody knows what's coming.
Yeah. And that's why I feel like I feel, and the one girl that could really dethrone her and really bury her in the story, in promos, everything, is Athena. She is more really the one hyped up in Ring of Honor. She's doing something with that title, Ring of Honor, fucking putting over women over there. And what is this one doing? I'm sorry, there hasn't been anything for me to be like, oh my God, do I feel that she put over Queen of Amanada this match? No, she didn't. I don't think so. I think Amanada put over herself over it, because I feel like the crowd saw, oh yeah, but we all know her credentials, and I'm a big fan of Queen Amanada and Trisha Dora. Like, these are independent women that came from the independent circuit that worked their ass off to be where they're at on television, and I give them credit where credit's due. So it's like, come on, it's just.
Can I answer something about Justin said about her getting too much too soon? I agree to an extent, but here's the thing. I think Tony brought her in with no plan whatsoever and literally got lazy and assumed, because of who she was, she would get over automatically.
See, that I can believe. I believe
that. But remember, to add on what you're saying, though, I feel like Monet told Tony, I got my producer who helped me in WWE.
Easy. Yeah. I mean, she
the assumption automatically was like, "Oh my god,
he wrote
there."
Yeah. And honestly, on paper, she's a good get.
Yes, 1000%.
But the problem is that, and I think you touched on it. There's a lot more discipline in WWE than AEW has, which is obvious because if you look at Ricochet and you look at someone who's not as seasoned and they're like not used to having that kind of freedom, it takes them a while. The problem is that I don't feel like they're letting her develop. Like they're not giving her storylines, let her develop. Because here's the thing, and this is what I don't know if it was you or Dom who basically said she's the CEO of what?
Dom said it. He's the one who said
it. What is this? Like she doesn't run anything. She doesn't make any decisions. Like she doesn't even hang out with the elite. So like she doesn't hang out with Tony. She doesn't I mean, truth be told, Chelsea Green spends more time with the executives annoying them than she does.
Well, poor Chelsea, man. Shit, poor Chelsea. Oh my god. I saw like a cold one. I know we're
but again, Chelsea, like here's the thing. I know a lot of people want to compare. They tend to they want to compare and say like Chelsea, like people like ripping down Chelsea Green because they say she's a jerk. Here's the thing. Chelsea Green has probably one of the most ridiculous gimmicks in the world.
And it fucking works.
Exactly. Is there ever a point where you don't believe in that gimmick?
Shit, I love it.
You believe in that 100%. Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné has a character that worked in WWE. It doesn't work outside of WWE because they knew how to work her. Yeah. Outside of that, Tony can't do it because she I know she left and rightfully so because they were fucking with her storyline. But the problem is they still gave her enough room to actually work though. And I mean, it's not her fault and it is her fault.
I blame both parties. It's both of them because it's just I blame Tony because the time limit you're giving to the women overall. I blame her because you're given the time and you can't even figure out how to fix it, how to really develop yourself in that situation. So it's both in this point.
And Ivan, I agree with you. I don't think she put over Queen Aminata. I think Queen Aminata put herself over.
She did. What did you like the moves that she did? She put herself over.
I think Justin, we talked about it last week. Mako Satomura. She was amazing. Yes. She ran that match beautifully. If you look at that match, she ran it, and Mercedes Moné, the champion, was just keeping up. And the same thing happened with Queen Aminata.
Yes,
and it's bothering me that it's not like Okada, who Okada can go.
Yes.
However, she lacks that. Because even though Okada's bitch gimmick is just ridiculous and silly, it still works.
Yes.
Bitch.
It's silly, but you believe it because it's so silly that he leans into it.
even the fucked up promo when you saw that they're like happy birthday Kenny, and then
man, I don't even want to talk about that. That was just the dumbest shit I've ever seen.
That was fucking weird. Let's buy a cake and then dump guts all over it.
Stupid. But hey, happy birthday, bitch.
But again, it goes back to what you said. I do not believe in this CEO gimmick.
Oh man, I don't know. It's just that I blame both parties. That can't give her mainly. It's just like I said, it's just really mainly the time that it should be given. But you have when you have that time, figure out a way how to tell that story. And but there isn't. Like I said this a while back too, that the thing is that you want to do is make it seem like, I'm from WWE. This is what we do. So, but that's we had the under the impression that Britt was going to be the one savior of AEW. No, you know what? You're in our territory, our style. Like, hey, you're our company. This is where the best fights. You know how Adam Cole. See how Adam Cole said his promo that day earlier about everything. I felt the same that Britt should have done with her, and then the story would have been more interesting. But when we saw the matchup, though, sorry, it was not the best.
Here's something else to consider. She has the New Japan Strong Women's Championship.
She does better matches there than AEW. Why? Why?
Because she don't got. Because she does not have to talk.
Literally,
she doesn't have to do promos.
Literally, all she does on AEW is fucking promos, and that's I think what Phil was literally talking about. I feel like it, like even Ivan just said too. I feel like it is both parties' like fault right here because it feels like Mercedes is just settled in, and she's like, I'm cool with whatever. Like if I have to sit here and wait till I find out what's next, I'm fine with it. I got a championship. I'm cool with it. But it's like Tony's still at fault because he's not giving us shit with her, though.
And we talked about this. Liv and Raquel are doing a better Shawn and Diesel than the Mercedes and Camille.
Because Liv's attached to an actual compelling fucking story, too.
Like the one thing I would say about this Dynamite, though, I would say one thing. You know, besides I get into the main topic that I want to get into, but besides that, I wanted to mention Brian Cage. What did Don Callis mention Brian Cage? Oh, Ring of Honor World Television Champion Brian Cage.
No,
he did not. What the fuck?
Just like, brought him out there and said, Lance Archer going for the tag team titles.
Yeah, that was it. Like, what the fuck? You didn't even say, look, this man won the Ring of Honor. You did not acknowledge the fucking Ring of Honor World title because of Brian. That's where I was in the hole. I held my tongue for that. But like, you're bullshit, Don Callis and Tony Khan, for you allowing that shit. What the fuck? Like that should have happened right there.
You're bullshit, Don Callis.
Oh man, no.
I can't blame Don for that because all he's doing is reading the script.
Yeah, he's just doing his thing.
I get it. I mean, I get it.
But honestly, I'm sitting here going, thank you. They do.
I know about that. And Henry, he is starting his promotion here in Southern California, and my people are reaching out to his people. And if I get hired, I'm taking my people right here with me to be integrated.
Shouts to Freddie Prinze Jr. What's good?
But here's the thing. As much fun as it's been yelling at AEW, and it has been fun. But the problem, it's a real problem because they're starting to feel like TNA around the 2005, 2010 era.
Because they had no story. Everything was flat. It was just
and this is because like around that time it was after the Aces and Eights had fallen by the wayside.
Yeah, and everybody went their own directions, and there was no story development at the aftermath. I remember that.
It almost feels like 2000s fucking WCW, you know, where it's just like they're just throwing shit at the wall to see if it sticks.
That's why I always digress every time. The problem with them is marketing. What are you marketing the following week for people to attend to your to your product? And what stories you're going to tell us the following week for us to be like, let me take back.
Here, listen, this is the thing. Liz, remember, didn't I just recently say this too on the show where I talked about it? That I feel like freaking Tony basically got the new deal. He's just going to take the fucking money and he's just going to bullshit us for the rest of it.
So here's the thing I want to know, and I know this is early, so bear with me. The CW and NXT, you know the one thing they do that I love now? Because it's a TV show on a network, before the show starts, they show you what happened last week.
Yes.
Even if you are a casual fan or you're just coming into it, you get at least a 1 week primer before you get into the whole week. Into this week's
during
story.
the show, they show it.
Exactly. But you get like at least a 5 to 10 minute package. When you go to AEW, you have no fucking clue what's going on. True. I mean, they'll do a quick package every so often if there's a pay-per-view, and they'll show you what happened to the pay-per-view, which is smart. But the fact that because here's the thing, if Tony's going to half-ass the storylines like this, he needs to do some type of a recap of what the fuck you missed, because let's face it, a lot of times we don't care.
Yeah, at least they did it in the beginning, because I guarantee you Moxley was the one at this promo for the beginning of the show. And what they did, they added that, and that made sense because we all wanted to tune in what was the aftermath of Wrestle Dream. See shit like that. If he does that consistently, you're on valid point, Pepsi. I'm not saying you're wrong, because that is very true. Very, very true. Because if you had that, then yes.
The one thing I will say, and I'm going to say this because I forgot to mention, was so the Bounty Hunter. This is the first time the Bounty Hunter looked like he did on Independence against FTR.
I know that.
Being with Jericho has literally watered down his entire personality. Not to mention his wrestling style.
That hurts. That hurts.
Because
You're right.
told, even though the match with FTR didn't make any sense whatsoever, I agree with you, Justin. That's the best I've seen him in AEW, period. Like his entire time, that is the best I've seen him, because they finally let that man wrestle. And Jericho
damn good.
Damn good. Now, so we can move on to this because we've been on fucking AEW for almost 2 hours. I'm going to say one thing now. Now I'm the main one out of this one. We saw the Bucks did not defend the roster. You hit it on both of you guys hit it on point. What the fuck? You took out, in all respect to them, the mid-card guys, and they got fucking squashed. You're making this chaos. And what's about the briefcase where the title was put, pretty much, right? So
remember, the title was put in a duffel bag, though.
And I guarantee you it's in a briefcase.
That's fucking weird.
And I guarantee, and I'm saying this right now at 10:23 Eastern, 9:30 Central, 9:23 Central, and 7:23 Pacific, October 17th. I'm saying this right now. Bucks denied that, right? And you said the Bucks were backstage walking away, and when it was confronted about, hey, why? We saw Garcia. We got to get Garcia and Hook. I guess that's fine. I'm looking forward to see how that story develops. But something, and I said this a long time ago. I said it a while back when the story was developing with the whole John Moxley situation. The Bucks are going to be the one turning on AEW. They're going to be the ones we sold our share to someone else. And when they give that briefcase to someone else, who it is? Here comes the money. Here it goes. Here comes the money. Money.
This is a real question. Why does everyone want Shane to come back?
Because we know where this is going with this situation.
No. That's not the question I'm asking. Why does everyone want Shane to come back?
I will say this. I don't want Shane to come back, but do I think Shane could help AEW in a sense? Yes, but he does not need to be on screen.
Exactly. That's my question. Like, put him in the back room. Like, I truly believe in the back room, he can pretty much fix a lot of Tony's shit and probably stop him from doing cocaine.
We know. Listen, we know Tony. We know Tony's only freaking thing is to be like, "Hey, look, there's a McMahon on our fucking show," and that is the only reason why he put his.
As an executive, I got no complaints about Shane being there. Shane was I think Shane can like, if Shane gets enough room, he can do good business. The thing is, I don't think Shane needs to be on camera anymore, because let's face it, respectfully, his time has passed.
Okay, so how about this? No, I'm with you. I'm not saying both of you guys are wrong. How about they make it more like, but little bit of television, kind of like the Lucha Underground, like Don Clado type of style. They give him the fucking briefcase, and he just is sitting in the office, and he's like the actual EVP now of the promotion. He runs it, whatever, right? But you don't see him on camera as much. You only see him.
Then what's the fucking point of why Christopher Daniels in the position he's in then?
Because they don't know yet until
he's our on-screen authority figure. Technically,
agreed. But until later when they find out that this is what's going on.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. You can't do that storyline and keep Shane out of the camera. Because
that's what I said, not fully.
No. Even lacking, because here's the thing. You can't give him the briefcase and go, we're only going to show him once every 3 months, because that's just going to be pointless.
No, I'm not saying once every 3 months. I'm saying like
no, that was just an example. That was just an example. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But no,
the point of that is, like, you can't do it once every 6 months. You can't do a pay-per-view. It has to be regular. Like, it has to be like not weekly, but at least once every semi-weekly or twice a month. Like, that's the point. Like, that's the point of bringing somebody like Shane in. If you're going to use them on camera, you got to use him on camera. I don't want to see it because I don't think he needs it. I think his greatest strength is his management and executive skills.
Oh, no, I'm with you. I'm not saying you're wrong about that. I'm with you. My thing is for this story is really to have him on this story. So then it can end at Revolution. And then let's say that's it. It's the authority type of style versus AEW's Tony Khan. And at Revolution, everything goes beginning of the new year, 2025. Everybody's happy, and then he's gone, and then staying backstage.
Truth be told,
that's what I'm saying.
If that's the case, you can use anybody. You don't need to. You can use
what
anybody.
What up, Oos?
What's up?
What's going on?
That's the thing, but that's the thing, though. You could use anybody in that case. You don't need Shane. You can use anybody.
Well, that's true.
You can just say it's an evil Jerry Lynn, which honestly I wouldn't be mad at that. Honestly.
I love it.
As long as it ain't Jeff Jarrett, I'm happy with that.
Right. We could do an evil Jerry Lynn. Shit, you can even make a Jake the Snake if you want. But
I don't mind that either.
To answer C. Henry's question, the whole, do you guys feel that Shane was given a fair shot to run WWE? I don't think he was.
No, fuck.
Because basically the point was Vince was going to run the fucking company no matter what.
Exactly.
He's never gonna leave that position until he was basically forced out like he was at this point.
And truth be told, he barely even gave them any power when he did quote unquote share anything.
Yeah.
No, because he was still on the phone. He was still on the phone with Bruce Pritchard. Hey, pal, tell me what's going on over there.
I'm sorry, you mean his bitch? Yeah, he was gonna give his bitch the power.
Pritchard fucking just picks up the phone and goes, I love you. And I'm like,
Bruce Pritchard's whole job was, Vince, what should I do? Okay.
Well, yeah, that's what he told them. Fucking let's get into
it. Shane is not that dude.
All right.
Shane got the fucking absolute shaft in this situation.
Well,
and I mean, which is why I definitely want him in executive management at AEW.
I just don't want him on screen either.
Exactly.
Well, fuck it. We'll see how it develops. You saw me on Tuesday. You missed it.
Are you gonna make us suffer and not do NXT first?
No.
Do it first. Just do it first.
Should we do it for the okay? Fuck it. Let's just do it first. Oh man, NXT.
Let's just dissect it all at once together.
First of all, NXT, best 2 hours of wrestling on television.
Like,
easily.
Now you want to know what was their viewers? 639.
Of course it was. It's CW.
And 18% up there at 1849. So
first of all, being on the CW is probably the best thing for both those.
Fuck yeah. Oh yeah, no, yeah. And so they beat AEW. There you go.
Yeah. So Justin, I'm gonna let you have this one because I know your girl made her debut.
Let's
I know your girl made her debut.
Oh my lord! Baby. First, I'll say this: Tony starting the show with his celebration was cool. Like I like the whole thing. Like it's cool we're getting the rematch. I just don't know if I'm liking the fact of it felt like Oba teasing the family turning on Tony. And I don't know if I like that.
I know.
Honestly,
they teased that before that because remember they threw the crowbar in and he threw it out.
Yeah, and I don't know if I like that whole thing because I can't see the family being apart like this.
Dude, you can't be in a faction and a face. You just can't.
Damn.
Unless you're a tag team, you can't be in a faction and a face.
Yes. I mean, literally, we could just go right to it. Stephanie Vaquer literally following that. Good fucking Lord. First off, I will say it every single time. I swear to God, I'm in love. That woman is phenomenal.
Lady in Red.
know what? I think I could get.
It kind of reminds me of fucking. It reminds me of fucking. What you call basketball? No, not basketball. Fucking dodgeball. Like like how he fell in love with. Oh my god!
You would think I'd get bored of that knee to the face thing that she does when she starts slamming people's face on the thing with her knee. And yet I don't. And yet I just wish I could trade places with that person.
No, that respectfully.
That shit looked like it hurt bad.
Indubitably.
Yeah.
That shit look like there are very few wrestling moves that look like they actually hurt. That one looks like it fucking hurts.
Oh my lord, it does. It looks like it sucks.
Love don't mean I want to take that kind of ass. Love don't mean I gotta take that kind of ass whooping.
Oh fuck. Oh.
Can we give Ren Sinclair though some love because she did fantastic in that match.
She did a great job. She did a great job in that.
Me and Bakley are absolute huge fans of her, and she's great.
She showed up nicely. She actually had a very good show against her. She gave her a good match. Honestly, nobody looked weak in that match.
Hell honestly, the whole card was not bad. The only thing that Redeemer could really tell you, the only thing was really more the questionable one was that freaking the
gentleman's duel.
I'm like,
yeah, that's the thing. I love that match right there because that reminded me of the Benoit Angle 60-minute like the 60-minute match that they had, because those are some legitimate rules. And I gotta tell you, I love the fact that he was abusing the rules in a cowardly way to save his ass.
I thought you were gonna say that like the rules didn't remind you of the Ring of Honor Pure like rules.
Oh no, yeah, it does. But with Pure, there's a little bit more of an innocence to it.
Yeah,
he actually played it like an asshole would, which was great.
That's true. That's true.
I
thought about that when you said the Benoit Angle, and I forgot about
it. Yeah, and it was a good storyline. It was a legitimate good storytelling in the ring, because every time he was about to hit him, he would drop to all fours and go, "Not this time, motherfucker." Which I thought from a storytelling perspective was great. He didn't abuse that, but he did it enough times to go, "Oh, somebody trying to do something." So I'm sorry, Justin. We took.
Oh man, no. Like I said, we can just all kind of like just jump in when we need to. Like that was the one match that to me, I wrestling wise, I enjoyed it. Like I really enjoyed it wrestling wise. I just didn't understand the rules.
It was a gimmick match. It was basically just a gimmick match,
and that's why I think it suffered a lot, because again, like the crowd just kind of seemed so confused on what the actual like legitimacy like. What was the fucking rules of this match, where they're just like, it's a gentleman's duel. And it just felt like, yeah, it's a one-on-one match. Just say that at this point.
I mean, I'll give them credit. They kept explaining the rules the entire match, which was hilarious. He goes, "Bruh, you can say that shit all you want. That don't make no damn sense."
Nikita Lyons and Lola Vice. Jesus, good Lord. Just
Lord have
this
mercy.
is the pure definition as to why we call this NST.
Hold on, I'm gonna at least step in on that one. So here's the thing. I will give you that, but here's the problem I have. Nikita Lyons can't wrestle for shit.
Oh, what? Hold on.
Tell me he didn't just say that.
That woman got the same moveset she got the same number of moveset as Goldberg.
Are we really comparing Nikita to Goldberg?
So here's the thing. She's a kickboxer and she fights like that. The problem is that she got no ground and pound. She got no MMA skills. She can't bring anyone down. Every so often, she can do basic stuff, but truth be told, and I don't know if it's just because she was rusty, but honestly, Lola Vice looked way more dynamic in that match. And I watched that match and I went, Lord, please don't let them let fucking Nikita Lyons win this match, because honestly, Lola Vice deserves better. And thankfully, Jada Parker comes in. Jada Parker.
Miss Parker
comes in, does the interference, and we get a Lola Vice Jada Parker rivalry coming up, and Nikita Lyons off to the side.
Oh, good Lord, though.
Because I'm not gonna lie to you, that woman did not look impressive to me.
Really?
And
Okay.
first of all, don't be distracted. Don't let her ass distract you.
No, listen, like the thing was, I was honestly impressed by it. Like, it felt like, yes, she was still a little rusty. You could see it.
Yeah.
But other than that, I thought she had a actually really good performance, even for being a little bit rusty. Because again, it's like, I don't know what it is. Lola Vice has this down pat. Ever since she's come here and basically adapted from MMA to wrestling, she's basically fucking nailed it. And her being in there with like Nikita, having Nikita basically being like, yeah, I've been out for so long. And her and Lola just seemed like they could mesh well together. And it just seemed like it worked for the most part.
The only reason why I'm more critical of Nikita Lyons is because she's been in there longer, and they have given her a tag team partners to help make her better. And I will say this: when Zoe Starks was her partner, she dragged Zoe Starks down.
Okay.
And I mean, if I had to make any critical judgment of that night, that was the match that at least impressed me. I mean, I'm not going to say it was a bad match, but it was not as good as everything else on that card was.
I will say this, because what we're going to talk about next, Ridge Holland and
God damn
Riley Osborne.
I'm telling you right now,
good.
First of all, I'm telling y'all right now, the reason Ridge Holland turned was because of student loans. Fuck that. Tasty was expensive as fuck.
I legit want him to say this, that he did that. Because of that. Please, Ridge, do it.
I actually need to tag him in on Twitter to say it's because of student loans, bro. But yeah, first of all, everyone in Chase U wrestles great. The weirdest part is I never remember her name. God bless that woman.
Thea Hale.
Yeah. And the best thing about her is when she's having a panic attack, you really think she's losing her shit. Just watching Riley take that ass whooping, you're going, oh, she gonna pop a blood vessel. She is such a good actress.
She's great. She is great. So young, but so good.
I know, that's the weird part. I mean, honestly, the entire roster is young. So she did great.
Young, she's like in her 20s, like late, early 20s.
Now, the one I really want to talk about is the triple threat match, the number one contender.
Yeah, because basically we can go right to that, because really the other thing that was on the show, other than the Delta vignette, her basically telling us she's there, which I can't fucking wait.
Oh my God, I can't wait to see her either.
The other thing was just Brooks Jensen and Ashanti the Adonis, which I don't understand the little story they're doing here with Petrovic.
I don't either, but I'm at least grateful for the fact it was a good match.
That goes back to say is that man is lucky because he's fucking around with Carmen Petrovic right now.
Yeah. So
respectfully. Indubitably.
Remember that thing I told you? The thing about NXT is even if we don't understand the story, we at least know this story's happening. I don't know what the fuck's going on, but let me see where it goes. That's basically the Brooks Jensen thing. I was like, I don't like. It started off with him giving her rose petals, and it ends with her giving a bag, like a velvet bag of roses. I'm like, what is happening here? What is happening?
She's like, here, you can take your petals back, and I'm just like, okay, well, whatever.
I'm like, did she just screw you over and cause you to lose? Are you okay with that? Why? But it was a good match, and at the very least, it's compelling as fuck because we're still going, I don't know what I saw.
Yeah, because we got, NXT's version of Jack Perry over here in Brooks Jensen.
Exactly.
So that main event right there. Just go for it, Phil.
Fucking Ethan Page really was a missed. Tony really fumbled the bag with that man.
Bro,
he fumbled that fucking bag because Ethan Page in that match, the way he worked that story between the two of them was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong, Javon Stokes was great. Wesley, but the way Ethan Page would insinuate himself in that match, left and right, and would end up winning that match with the best steal, in my opinion, in NXT, says something, because even I was like, I don't know if Ethan Page is going to win this one. But I will say that was a great triple threat match. Like, that's a triple threat where everybody was important.
Mm-hmm. Match was phenomenal.
That was a great match. Oh my god, that was a great main event.
I think just because it felt like Wes was gonna win. Everybody was going, Wes is gonna win. Wes is gonna win.
Uh-huh.
And then Ethan pulled that sneak fucking victory out, where it's just literally like, everybody's getting behind Javon, and I'm like, yes, this is fucking great. Because even if you rewatch the watch along, my whole reaction is just rooting for Javon. Javon's got this. Momentum's on his side. He's this close to winning the fucking match. And Ethan sneaks in there, and I go, this motherfucker is so good at getting me to fucking hate him for screwing Javon over. Fucking Ethan Page is incredible.
Yes. Like, honestly, when I saw that, because like for a minute I was like, oh, Javon's gonna win. Okay, I can get behind Javon versus Trick. You motherfucker.
I did too. I literally go that night. I go, you son of a bitch. I was like so pissed. But I was like, you know what? This is why I love Ethan Page. Because it's meant to get me to get pissed off of him. Because I'm this close to seeing my boy freaking Javon get the damn title match. Ethan steals the damn thing. And I'm like, this man is fucking gold. Fucking gold, dude.
And like I said, and again, and the thing is, it's not a long storyline. That shit started last week.
Yeah.
Like, it's only a 1 week long story. So it's not, so even when we give AEW shit, it's not that we want them, we just want them to have a shit that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All three of them, think about it. Javon Stokes had a great match against Randy Orton. So it makes sense for him to be in the number one contenders match. Wesley been an asshole, and he been trying to fuck with Trick the entire night, going back to
last week.
And Ethan Page, going back to last week, was still pissed because he lost the belt. Like, literally, these are not long, complicated storylines. These are
three of these guys literally had a reason to be in this match.
Exactly.
How simple is that, Tony Khan? Jesus Christ.
Exactly. And like I said, I don't like picking it up, but it's just, it's so simple. I can see why you could fuck it up because you're trying to make it more complicated than it needs to be. It don't need to, like Paul Heyman done taught us, it don't need to be that complicated.
Mm-hmm.
No, it doesn't be.
So I was very happy with that, because the level of anguish I had during that match, and then at the end, I was like, God damn, man, shit. Because I felt bad for Javon Stokes. That man put in that good work to get that match, to get that shit. He was flying all over the place to get that pin.
But it was a great triple threat match. I'll tell you that it was
100%. And they did their job. They did their job. And like going back to our girl, Stephanie Vaquer, she really is fun. And they just gave her the greatest on Busted Open. They gave her the greatest compliment of how she wrestles, because they compared her to Tanaka.
I love that.
I love that. That's
literally
you're so right about that.
Tanaka. They gave her that, and you can't get more sharper than that. So I am very excited to see how she's doing. I'm really glad they're not having her just go through the roster one-on-one. They're slowly building her up to be someone who's a part of the roster. Pay attention, Tony. Because think about it. It'd be really easy. It would have been really easy just to give Julia the championship on her very first match in NXT.
Sorry to interrupt you, but I have to give you a round of applause. Thank you.
Really easy.
Pay attention.
Like,
When
I watched this,
want to see this bullshit. We don't want to fucking
I'm serious.
see it.
I'm not gonna sit back and take this fucking shit.
Fucking take it because you gotta hear Pepsi Field. You're bullshit, Tony Khan.
Here's the thing.
Telling you.
It would have been really easy to have Julia win the championship on their debut of CW. Turned it into a Julia versus Stephanie Valkyrie the next day, which is what Tony would have done because he wanted to cheap pop from the fans. Instead, having it be a tag match between those two, there's a fallen outcome between Julia and Stephanie Valkyrie coming.
Oh my Lord!
But again, you don't care because at the point we got the dream tag team right now. So we get to see both of them as a team go through the women's roster and build a name for themselves, and then you make them break up and basically be whatever size they want to be on to go for the women's singles.
It's fucking Nady Mania going wild. I gotta do it.
Let's go.
Oh, where the fuck is it?
No. And again, I'm not saying it's a competition, but there are certain practices that wrestling promotions need to do and remember that are important. And especially
preach the word, attorney at law, preach it.
Especially if you don't want to blow your wad on somebody way too fucking early.
Thank you.
Like you right now, you done blown your wad with Will Ospreay and Ricochet. Well, there's never anything gonna be special about those two meeting up again.
Nope, you'd have to keep them literally apart for like a year and a half.
Exactly. And at that point, even when they come back together, no one's gonna be like, "Yeah, we already saw this. What's the point? We saw this twice, literally." What are you gonna do? We gonna add tables, ladders, and chairs?
Yep. Give them a scaffolding match.
Isn't that we got on for Havoc between Trick and Ethan? Was it tables, ladders, and chairs?
No, that's Tony. That
is Tony and Oba Femi. Tables, ladders, and
chairs.
Okay.
It's a devil's playground.
Oh,
is Trick and Ethan.
So yeah, overall, like I said, NXT was the best 2 hours in wrestling.
Yes, best show of the week.
The weakest match was, technically the weakest match could be Lexus Kings, but I still thought from a gimmick match perspective, it was well done storytelling wise. Brooks Henson, that was probably the weirdest match of the night.
Yep.
I don't mean in a bad way. It's just we still don't understand how that story is working out. But again, it's developing, so we gotta wait to see what happens. So it's fine.
No, that's not a bad thing.
Personal preference. You gave me Carmen Petrovic, so I'm happy.
Yeah.
So
now that's a good thing.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing I do love: the women's tag match.
Oh,
that's the thing we need to pay attention to.
Yes.
The thing about, remember, the women's tag match, originally everybody was pissed because that thing only lasted barely 10 minutes on Raw between NXT and Raw. And it only lasted.
What are we still NXT or we switch to Raw?
No, we're still on NXT, but I gotta mention Raw because I mentioned Raw from last week.
Okay.
On Raw, people were pissed because it only lasted 10 minutes. And they should be because it needed to be longer and a better program.
Stupid shit.
But what they do is they have Damage Control fuck with them on Raw. But what they do is they have Lash and damn, I can't remember her name, but Lash and what's her name?
Lash Legend and Chikara.
And Chikara invite them to NXT again to fight for a tag title. Or I don't know if it's on. Yeah, I think it's for Halloween Havoc, which means you get the pay-per-view match that you wanted with those 4 women. Even anyone, if you felt cheated on Raw, you should be, because we get the tag match that we wanted on a pay-per-view for NXT. That right there is a 3-week storytelling thing because they had the match. It was 10 minutes. Damage Control comes in, fucks it up. Damage Control and Bianca Belair have their match. Now, remember, Lash ends up fucking up Damage Control's attempt at the championship as well, remember? Or that was this past Raw. And then they go, y'all need to bring your ass to NXT so we can finish this. That right there It's a short thing, but that is great. Like that right there is something I was like, oh, y'all, that's long game work right there, sir. It's a small thing, but truth be told, that is perfect. So I was very excited about it because I was one of the people who was pissed off the Lash Legend and Jakara match was only 10 minutes too against those two, especially since the triple threat they had on NXT between Kalani and Bianca and Jade lasted a full 16 minutes. So overall, yeah, I'm like I said, that right there makes me happy because NXT is really doing a good job of planning that shit ahead. So again, it's a small story, but that little thread right there makes me happy.
Yes.
Okay.
So, but yeah, now we can do Raw. Ivan, Justin, you want to take this one?
I mean, as a redeemer, go ahead. The floor is yours, brother.
Raw again. When we did Raw Dogging on Monday, this felt like one of those shows where it felt like they finally found their.
Please say the whole name so people know what we talking about. that shit sounded wrong.
Raw Dogging with De Niro and Dom and friends with benefits. There we go.
That is marginally better, sir.
His name's just gonna get longer by the second.
It's showtime.
It's like fucking showtime. Like what? Phil, I would have played. I literally, if you want to, Raw Dogging, hell yeah, baby, there we go.
Are you feel him now, sir?
You feel him now? That's right, baby.
Do you feel him now, sir?
I want to put right there. See, even NXT women love them
exactly,
all.
just right there
respectfully.
Yes,
right there
Mania running wild. What's your opinion about? We're gonna get there after this, Logan. So I appreciate you coming back. We're gonna tell you our top 10.
That is, yeah, that's a big deal, and that was actually done. This is the only time I don't disagree with most of it.
Yes,
we're gonna talk about it after this for sure.
Okay, what you got?
So I feel like Raw was a really good show because I feel like it found its groove. Like the first 2-hour show, like the week before, was literally. It wasn't as good as you would think it was, like it could have been, because it almost felt like the show was rushed.
Yeah.
This one felt like they found they were like, this is how the show used to be at 2 hours. This is how it can be while we're doing this for 2 hours. And it felt exactly like that. And it's like they found that perfect little spot, like little pocket they needed to keep the show at 2 hours for like it is going up till Netflix. And they did a really good job with it, I think. Like Rhea, the whole Rhea, Tiffany, and Liv and Raquel stuff. I like that to be in the show. I like that Tiffany got involved in this because again, it's the whole playing off what's going on SmackDown right now as well.
I remember the commentary between Rhea and Tiff, and Rhea's yelling, "Get off!" And Tiff like,
not like a little break, not like fourth wall break in the middle of a match.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But no, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. You were right. Yeah, they are doing something really interesting with Tiff right now, where they're making the Money in the Bank winner actually matter.
Yes.
In a very weird sort of way.
Yes.
So,
I like that they do
at least
this
they
whole
did.
thing. I like how they're doing it across both shows too.
They're treating her better than they did Austin.
Poor Austin Theory. Jesus. God, they did Austin Theory dirty.
They did. I mean, everybody disrespected that man with that belt.
Right.
With that suitcase.
Yeah.
So,
and
but yeah.
Having that whole interaction in the beginning leading to the tag match being the main event was a good way to start the show overall.
Yep.
Women's tag team title match I thought was really good. Because again, it's like you talked about, it's continuing that little bit that's going on with Lash and Jakara over on NXT by having Damage Control now go over there and go back to NXT and deal with them, which is it's good. I like that we're telling this multiple show stories kind of thing, and it's actually working. It's not overkill.
And remember, it was what we was promised.
Yes.
Remember, the women's tag titles were supposed to go through all three brands. Because because there weren't enough women wrestling at the time, it was supposed to do all three brands.
Yeah. They're finally remembering that NXT is supposed to get a taste of these women's tag team titles still too.
Which it was good. It was good to see that at least seeing Lashley and fuck, I can't remember his name. What's her name again?
Jakara.
Yeah. It was good to see them though. I mean, they did a good job, honestly, on both shows. I'm not gonna say they didn't. But I digress as to one, but yeah, I apologize.
No, you're good. No, and can you think about it? Their promos also have been very good as well.
Yes, I actually could say that I am officially on board with Lash and Jakara because I was never that big on those two.
Yep.
But I'm on there with that. Any combination of EO and Belair always hits. You're damn right.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Respectfully.
Yes. Respectfully, indubitably.
I'm sorry, just that word always gets.
Honestly, you can't help because every time you talk about WWE women, you literally just need to follow every single one of them with respectfully.
Indubitably.
Especially in NXT, because let's face it, we need to see Shawn Michaels browse the history.
We know what he's up to.
That man got a type.
I wonder if he still does it like he does. Remember that video that they have him like doing it in your house. He's like
exactly.
He's probably going like this, like oh my god. Are you sure you type in NXT or ass NXT? What the fuck are you typing? Because all these women you're getting, Michael Hickenbottom. There's a reason why you call Michael Hickenbottom for a reason, right? Like
swear to God, his search she starts out like this: NIL MMA fighter, big ass.
I almost wonder if he changed the HB in his initials. If instead of Heartbreak Kid, he's now the Huge Butt Kid.
I mean, the only thing that makes this hilarious is that Shawn Michaels is probably at this point in time, after the life he's lived, probably one of the coolest and nicest people in WWE.
He is,
right
but
now.
I'm pretty sure that his perverted mind is like, I'm never getting away
First
with
of
this.
all, we the last people to talk about what we need to be yelling at somebody what's in their mind about.
I know. But
I ain't judging that man for the shit he's thinking about. I knows what I thinks about.
Hey, I mean, we're men, of course, but we at least say respectfully though. Yes. But, you know what I'm saying? But that's a difference. We're not here. Like...
but from what I can see, it looks like Shawn Michaels genuinely just cares about these kids a lot and wants them to be good. So, which is actually, considering the history that man has, he's probably the best person for that job. So,
but yeah, where we're at, Justin, you tell us. Lead the way.
Adam Pearce and Bronson Reed segment, loved it because again, the whole Seth Rollins stuff also like attached to it as well. Like again, the only freaking thing that needs to happen in that entire thing. First off, I'm excited to see what's going to come out of Rollins and Reed. I think that's going to be nuts. Reed needs to go over. No ifs, ands, buts, or maybes. Bronson Reed needs to go over.
But here's the question. Here's the question, though.
Justin Devious. Here's
the question, though. Does Bronson Reed need to win to get over, or does he need to win? Does he need to just get over? Because here's the thing. He does not, in my opinion, he had his matches. First of all, the tsunami splashes and his match with Braun Strowman put him at that level.
Yeah.
Seth right now, honestly, ain't nobody touching that man. Ain't even gonna lie to you. As much as I love Seth, Bronson Reed ain't ready to touch that man. But I think if Bronson Reed can look strong as fuck and then end up going after the IC title, I'd be okay with that.
Okay.
So I think Rollins is so bulletproof that him taking an L is really not going to hurt him whatsoever. Reed,
thank you.
Reed benefits big time from beating Rollins.
Thank you. I agree.
I'm not saying that's not a bad call, but I'm interested because here's the thing though. If he beats Seth, that puts him in the main event to go after Gunther. And
That's fine if it does.
See, I think it's a little too early, only because I would like him to win the IC strap from Jay.
Oh, I mean that's still perfect because again, Rollins is a former Intercontinental Champion. That man basically beats Rollins. It's locked. It's basically in stone, carved in stone that man is now set for the IC title right off.
Yeah, exactly. And like honestly, if it's me, I'd have him go for the IC title, but going through Sami Zayn to get it.
Oh yes, 1000%.
I agree with
that. So I guess I'm like I said, I would not be mad if he beat Seth, but there's a part of me that thinks that he may not need to beat Seth to get on that level anyway. And I don't think that's going to derail his momentum. But I think you're right as well. But I think you're right as well. Seth can take the L and still be fine. The only thing is that after he beats or loses to Bronson Reed, that puts Punk in his sights at that point. And going against Punk with a loss makes me think that colors it up a lot. But it does give Punk something to kind of drill in on to fuck with him.
Okay, all right. Hold on. I'm with you. But Bronson got the best of. Oh my God!
He got that soul glow.
Oh my God!
That silky smooth
soul glow.
Oh God!
No, but here's the thing, though. But go ahead, Justin. Go ahead.
No, I know. I can see both sides of why both of them works. So I'll
either way. Tell you why. I'm waiting for Justin to tell you why. I'm waiting.
Oh man, I think it's. I think you're right. Him beating Sammy would be good, but I don't think you need to bring Sammy back like that to the IC title. He's had the IC title enough. Plus now that we have the rematch coming up, which if we want to kind of jump to that a little bit, we got the rematch for the IC title coming up literally next week, and that's Jay and Braun Breaker. Earlier in the show, we had the Jimmy Uso appearance where him and Jay,
that was the best piece of storytelling in wrestling I have seen. Incredible. It was great because I was really
gasped.
I was literally worried they were going to let a quick reunion and just go. Jay just go automatic. I'm like, I'm glad they're stretching that shit out.
It's like family matters situation there. I tell you that.
This exactly like
next week's.
Go ahead.
Next week's setup. Next week is your setup right here. Jay is losing that for sure. Next week.
Yeah. So I guess my question. See, that's my thing. I'm wondering that.
I'm sorry, fucking just got me here with that shit.
Oh, goddamn.
Yeah, so that's the thing I'm hoping for. Like I said, honestly, I could take a couple more weeks of Jay just going fuck you, and then at some point Roman shows up and he goes, "Oh, you can kiss my ass, sir."
Oh God.
And then, like you said, the bloodline costs him the title, and then he finds them. And I don't think the funny part is I don't think he talks to him. I think he just shows up when they're getting jumped, because it ain't gonna be a conversation. So, but like I said, it's like that reunion is something I think everybody's been waiting for, and they're doing a really good job of setting it up.
And I like that with the Braun Breaker promo. That happened as well, where he talked about why he did what he did to Jay, where it's literally like, I came out there, showed you respect, and then you basically just didn't give me that respect back. And it's like, I love that. I love it. It's simple. It was easy.
I agree.
The man played us. He played us like a fucking fiddle. That's it.
I also would like to bring up the Carlito segment in Judgment Day.
Oh, first off, let's talk about this one quick. War Raiders are back. Finally.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go. About goddamn time. No more Viking Raiders. No more Viking experience. No
I
more
told you they got their
anything.
name back. I told you.
I
they
feel
got their name
I feel bad. I
Goddamn
do feel
time.
bad for Otis and Tozawa though, because I feel like they're relegated to jobbers for a
Yeah,
couple more.
ever since
For the next
they
few
left
months.
Gable, it's.
I think it's going to be
just-
that way for a few months. I think it's going to be that way for a few months.
I can
So,
see it.
but I think they're
No,
doing okay. I think they're
sucks,
doing.
but
I would say at this point, even if it comes down to it, and I know it's gonna maybe sound like maybe a little bit of a downgrade, but I wouldn't be against it. Put them in NXT.
there you go.
They can have them run through NXT for a little bit, yeah. Although, just a heads up, here's my question. We know they're coming to the main roster, and this might be a SmackDown question, so bear with me. Where does but they have mentioned the tournament. Do we see the Motor City Machine Guns showing up in this tournament?
They're literally showing up tomorrow night. It's already basically confirmed at this point.
Yep.
They're showing up tomorrow night.
Oh,
Jay rejects Roman and Jimmy. Damn, why we gotta quote? Why we gotta quote one of the most gut punching, fucking tear jerking Fresh Prince moments?
That is the hardest line in TV history, man. So yeah, so I'm curious to see, if Motor City Machine Guns go in a tournament. That's what I want to see.
Why is just killing one of this fucking? Why didn't you want me?
So I am, but Justin, I'm with you. I'm glad the War Raiders are back.
Right,
that is what I'm happy about. So I am, but again, this kind of goes back to the theory we talked about a week ago, where Triple H is trying to rebuild the tag team division. Like, actually, well, I'm gonna start that over. He's trying to make a tag team division back in WWE. So again, I'm glad they're back. Like I said, Motor City's coming. So I think
Motor City.
Just give them a couple more weeks, and I think they'll have a decent tag team going.
Yes,
because before I wasn't excited about that tournament. Now I am. So yeah, even if like Motor City isn't in it, the War Raiders being back and a AOP going against each other has me drooling.
Yes.
So I want to see that. So
oh my god, yeah. You know what? I hate your Saints because I picked them and I lost them my fucking money because of your Saints. I'm not saying it.
I don't even know what y'all talking about. Y'all talking about that crazy football with the oblong joints.
Foosballs for the devil. Damn it.
All I know is Aaron Rodgers got an innocent man fired.
And he got kicked out of the building. Like, yes, I know. But all right, Redeemer, keep us going for
Cody and Gunther's promo. Listen, I thought both their promos were really good. I can't find myself to be that excited because of what they're doing these promos over.
So you know what I said the first time I saw those promos was, this is really good promos, but not for each other.
Right?
Like any other situation, these are great promos. Against each other, I'm like, I don't think they work, y'all.
Yeah, no. And especially because, like I said, the situation they're in right now, how it's building up for this fucking title that's just going to be decided once, and that's it. Here's
the problem I have with that. Both are champions. You could argue and say them losing to one another won't make a difference, but the truth of the matter is whoever loses momentum of having that belt. Period.
Yeah.
And Gunther right now, in my opinion, is way hotter than Cody is right now. And the idea that they would consider the Universal Champion expendable enough to have him lose at Saudi, at Crown Jewel, really does bother me a little bit. Because as much as I love going back to Bad Blood, they sidelined him for the main event finish. And now if they book him to lose at Saudi, honestly, the next pay-per-view, he's losing the belt, whoever he's fighting. Like at this point, I think Kevin Owens may get the belt back.
I think so too. Honestly, I'm starting to believe it a little bit.
Yeah, and
honestly, I think it'd be fresh if it happens.
Yeah, and honestly, if it's if it involves Cody turning heel, I'm fine with that. But the point of the matter is that he can't lose at Saudi Arabia. Like that's my thing. Like Saudi Arabia can have, but Cody can't lose at Saudi Arabia. And unfortunately, if Gunther loses, that kind of puts I think that puts Mania and SummerSlam real big in question.
Well, you mean Survivor Series and
Survivor Series, Survivor Series, and I just it just seems like a really bad place to put your champions in.
Yes,
and I know it's because they couldn't find anybody else for either one of them, and I at least give them credit because like they want their champions to be at probably their most lucrative show. I'm not going to say it's their best show. I'm just going to say it's their most lucrative show. So I mean, truth be told, I still don't understand why The Rock's not taking on Cody in Saudi Arabia, if only because you don't want The Rock to lose. But it is what it is.
Yeah,
no, he's not ready yet. That's why.
Fair enough. But yeah,
like I said, the only places that Rock and Cody should happen is either Mania or Rumble, as far as I'm concerned. It's the ones that's two spots to me that make the most sense. But we'll move on from that. The Breaker and Kofi Kingston match, very good, very good. And again, it's the whole continuation of the Jay Braun Breaker stuff. I feel like we didn't get much of the whole New Day story in this situation because it almost felt like they kind of sidelined it for this.
Yeah,
which is weird. I was a little confused because I was like, okay, we're telling this New Day story, but now that Braun Breaker's got Kofi, it's almost like they said, yeah, we can't really tell you anything about this, like continue that story if we're going to do this about Jay and Braun. And it's weird.
I feel like they're throwing away the New Day story.
It could be.
Probably because, honestly, I don't think it's catching flame like they wanted to. Because let's face it, nobody wants to see the New Day break up.
No, I don't think it's catching. I don't think it has to do with the flame. I think for me, because now when they're gone for 2 hours, is now there's an opportunity to tell different stories every week. It doesn't have to be a consistent story. So I feel like that one could be a delayed. So it could be okay. We'll get back to it the following week. We're seeing a piece of it. You get what I'm saying? So I feel that way.
Yeah, it did take Xavier a while to come into the ring to save his boy. So
exactly. So it gives you at least that questioning, like, what's it the following week? What are we going to see? So that's why we touch this basis of the opposite of it. For both brands now that they're gonna have 3 hours and this one 2 hours, because now it gives at least this 2 hour short opportunity to build the stories that they've been building for 3 hours and try to push it within two. But if they can't do it all of it within one night, they can do it the following week. So it could be, so it doesn't have to be consistent. If you get what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we don't want that because you want different stories. But one thing we're getting here is we're getting told by it. Even with promos and segments, we're getting told.
Good point. That's a real good point. Yeah,
we're getting told by it. So that's why I feel that I think I don't think it's dying out. I think it's gonna come back to it. Probably maybe this Monday. Like I said, at least they'll announce it. At least down the line. One thing I'll give credit to WWE. What they do is when they put whatever on websites or anything, they announce right away the lineup, and then they take it down very quick. People that buy the tickets because they don't want nobody. They're fucking smart, so they don't keep it up there for fucking piece of shit, fucking Seltzer and Alvarez. Spoiler alert: this was happening around like this. None of that shit. They at least say it. It's clever. I give them the credit because at least like I said, I'm not comparing them to AEW. I'm just saying what they do. At least they know how to market and say this is what we're having.
Yeah,
take it down very quick. All right, tickets on sale now. Boom. All right, there you go. You buy the tickets. So, and then take it.
I mean, can we talk about the fact that Kevin's whole entire storyline has been on and not on AEW? Not on WWE TV.
I'm waiting for he's the one taking over this one. I'm waiting for him.
Yeah.
He responded to it in a video on Twitter, and the action happened on Twitter, but he has not addressed it on WWE TV.
Yeah, no, they're not addressing that story at all, and that's like it's almost kind of what's making it more intriguing because it's like, why are we hiding it? Is the question.
Which is why
it's a great idea. I feel like it's a great idea. I think it's.
I agree with you 100%. I agree with you. I think it's a really interesting way to run a storyline, especially if you don't have a 3-hour show and you want to put something in that segment. You don't like if you do 2 hours, but you do like say a bunch of vignettes on social media. That's part of that original. That's part of that Raw storyline. That right there, pretty much, you still 2 hours, but you still have 3 hours of content because they immediately go to the social media to get like WWE on Twitter or WWE on YouTube.
But it's smart. It's smart. I give them credit. It's smart. Whoever they had that, whoever is taking over when it comes to that, smart idea.
Yeah,
I don't think it's not a bad idea because you know what? Come think of it. I'm thinking of it now because you know what? Who does that shit? UFC does this shit.
Yes,
they've been doing that shit prior before the WWE started it. They really focus on what do you think UFC has embedded? Why do you think UFC has all those like little clips and allow the fighters to do what they need to do on social media? It's smart. It's smart. It's smart marketing level. So I don't hate it. I actually like it, and at the same time, it helps the product for them to develop more.
Yeah, I think so too. I think so. I think so.
Smart move.
And truth be told, a lot of people live online anyway. So if your demographic like 1835 and they're mostly doing like social media stuff, might as well get their attention through there.
Yeah, just like us. Like we live on social media, folks. We have like at least 20 people watching us. We do have all of you guys watching on X, Twitter, and on Twitch. You're watching this, and if you're not here, you want to comment.
So here's my question on the new segment that I want to talk about: Carlito's love life.
Yes, you're not over that, are you? You want to just
no? That was wonderful.
That was perfect. That was literally the perfect point right there.
Wonderful.
Because at this point, first of all, the Judgment Day has 2 women members, which is interesting because that's the first faction I've seen to literally have a mixed faction like that. That's not the NWO. And honestly, it's a really good faction right now. That's actually, and I hate to say it, more interesting than when Damian and Rhea were in it.
Ooh,
like no, I didn't say as good.
Ooh.
I didn't say as good. I just said as interesting because right now you got Liv and Raquel. You got Carlito. You got Finn, you got Dom, and then you have the guys, and like you literally sit there and just go, that's a squad right there. That is a legitimate squad right there. If they do really well as a faction, I could see them all getting belts.
Yes.
Can you imagine if they had the tag belts, a world champion, or maybe an IC title belt, maybe additionally like some kind of weird USA title? And then literally Liv and Raquel have the women's title. Can you imagine all that gold?
Wow.
Well,
obviously that's a long game. That's probably like a year or so in the future if that faction lasts that long.
I'm pretty sure that Raquel, when she's out Carlito,
Griff Garrison!
Whoa, who the fuck is Griff Garrison?
This is Griff Garrison!
Hey, that man was 1,000% flustered over her.
Oh, fuck it. I need to get that clip, man. Lady in Red. Oh, my God. I need to that show.
I mean, in his defense, I ain't really mad at him about that because even I was just like, shit, she looked really good.
Yeah, she looked.
I'll be careful because I don't know if she's back with Braun Strowman. You got to be careful, pal. I don't know.
No, respectfully and
they are not. They are not. They broke up years ago. I'm well aware.
It wasn't years ago. It was like what, last year that it broke up.
It was 2 years ago they broke up.
No, was it? I thought it was
Wow. Holy shit.
Wow. Damn.
It was before her last pay-per-view, which I believe was Elimination Chamber.
But they're still friends. Why can't we be friends? Why can't we?
First of all, you ain't working in the same company and not being friends at Triple H's WWE.
Bro, anywhere you work in an environment, you fucking, if you see your ex-girlfriend working in the same company, you have to be friends with them.
I mean, we ain't got to be friends. We just got to not throw shit at each other. There is a difference, my friend.
You still have to be like Phil and Tony.
Exactly.
Look, I will respect that person, their existence, but I ain't got to hang out with them.
Right?
I ain't got at craft services, we ain't got to eat from the same plate. Shit.
Well, let's finish Raw. Truth beating Miz in faster time than it took me to finish the sentence. Holy shit. Fucking Truth is like fucking absolute god at this point.
I really hope this is their way of pushing him to be a little bit more serious. Because honestly, I could use Truth getting another title run.
Please.
But like a singles title run. Like I feel like it's long past due.
Yes.
So and honestly, I don't need him to get the world championship, but a USA title run would be nice. Sorry, LA Knight.
I love it. Especially the whole thing when he was just like walks by fucking when the appearance of the Final Testament shows up and then he beats Miz in like seconds and then just walks right by them and then freaking Cross just like go grab him. And I'm just like, yep, that was great. And then the main event was fun. I enjoyed the main event.
Yeah.
Even though it ended in DQ, but again, it was more build for Crown Jewel.
Yes.
It's still more teases of is Tiffany going to cash in? Because even I started to believe it. Like, is she going to actually cash in on Liv? Because after Rhea's, and then she had that opportunity to go try to cash in on Nia after Rhea beat her up. And I was like, it's more of these teases. What's it going to be? And I actually enjoyed it for the most part.
Yeah, but it's a good cliffhanger. It's a really good cliffhanger. So I'm like, okay, fine. Y'all got me. I'm in.
Yes. Well, yeah, like I said, I think Raw found its pocket. I think it found that pocket it needed to go into, and now it's starting to feel like old 2-hour Raw.
Yeah.
So hopefully they can keep that consistent. So
here's my question. Do we see a Randy KO coming up soon? I'll jump into SmackDown.
Yeah, we can jump to SmackDown right now. Yeah, I think it is coming.
Yeah, I think so too, because it's long past due, honestly. And honestly, those two good. I don't know what it is. There's a part of me that's really excited for those two.
I'm excited.
If only for the promos.
The promos itself is going to be a great part about it, but then the match itself could be excellent.
Oh, it'll be excellent. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I hope it ends at a pay-per-view event.
Yes. So. They could do that literally at Crown Jewel if they wanted.
Yeah, they could.
But you know what? But very quick before you guys continue with SmackDown, I just wanted to say about Raw. Like, I mean, I have nothing to say. I mean, you guys really killed. I kind of add nothing to it. But the one thing I would add though is we're seeing it. Oh, and I hope it does happen. I hope it does. And you said it too, Redeemer. You said it. It's like the Wyatt family.
Oh my God! Yes,
Final
they're
Testament.
teasing it around Final Testament every single time.
You have to remember they have to build up the Wyatt Six, but they also have to build up the Final Testament because right now Testament only has.
It's never over, Kayla, because we still got 2 more things to talk about, and then
exactly.
We love you, Kayla.
Kayla, we love you.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, but they still have to build up Final Testament because right now we'll say Final Testament has Miz with them, right?
Yes.
But they still need at least one more person to hang with the Wyatt Six.
Yes.
So, yeah, they can take their time with that one. I do not mind.
The bloodline stuff. We'll jump to that quick. I thought the opening interaction with Jimmy and Roman was fantastic.
Yep.
that whole thing of having where Roman's still got that confidence in him, where he's out there just going like, I'm the tribal chief. Nobody's higher than me. Nobody's just because I was gone does not mean I'm still not the tribal chief. And then Jimmy's just like, are you though? Are we still like the bloodline right now? Because honestly, these guys are over here parading around calling themselves the bloodline. All I see is a chief without a tribe. I'm like, this man knows that, you know, right now, because even I'll say this right now, we can take digs at the Timu bloodline and whatever the hell we want to call them. They've done actually a really good job at making them feel dominant.
Yeah,
they've made him feel like a threat, and that's why Jimmy going out there and saying what he said makes sense, and it really fits well because they've done such a good job with him, like with the entire new bloodline, that it makes Jimmy's words actually seem right. Like, we need backup. We can't go in this alone at this point. Cody's not with us anymore. It's just us two. We need the rest of somebody. And then we got on Raw.
I will say this, however. I like the fact that Roman acknowledges Jimmy.
Yes.
It's kind of a backdoor apology for the way he was acting. Like, honestly, I thought that right there is a good full circle. Yes. I also like the fact that it's a completely different style direction for Jimmy than Jay. And they did a good job of making sure those two guys were separated, because, even though they're twins. And the way they handled Jimmy from even like the breakup with Jay and in the bloodline, this new one is probably, in my opinion, the best way for Jimmy to behave. Because let's face it, Jimmy was always the heart of the bloodline. And it's good to see Roman actually acknowledge that.
Yes.
But yeah.
I mean, overall SmackDown was okay. It wasn't especially over the top or anything I could say really stood out for me in it. I was pretty
like what we had the US title match with Mello and LA Knight, which is really good.
Yeah.
I still feel like they're obviously building up to the triple threat. We are getting the triple threat.
You called it first, man. I remember you called it first, so I already know. So I mean, you called it.
Night Hayes, and Andrade. Just do the freaking match. It's gonna be
I think it's gonna be a badass matchup between them.
I think. I'm sorry. Go ahead. My bad.
No. Go for it.
No, I think you're right. I think they did a good job, and I guess it's like kind of this weird backdoor way of telling that story with all three of them. That I don't know why, but it's paying off, in my opinion.
Can we say like even though it's differential from the Intercontinental, because it's different, of course, but this one at least we're having competition here in this matter on SmackDown, that two guys that really, hey, I want to be in Intercontinental. When have we seen Andrade become like in the main roster a champion? Like, we never. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Have we ever seen that? I don't know.
No, you're right. This is the most. I don't want to say important, but probably the most impactful and most significant run he's had in WWE when he was not in NXT.
Yeah, but remember when he was in WWE, when he went to the main roster, he didn't have much of a main.
He didn't have dick, basically.
He didn't have shit.
Right? Like,
this is like the most had. I mean, granted, we gave him shit about the Speed title, but either way,
I forgot he has that shit, but we don't
still has that. We don't talk about that though. We don't talk about Speed.
But let's face it, this is like, I mean, even though it's a USA title, and most people like this is probably the most impact he's had and the best storyline he's had, honestly, in this one or AEW.
Yes.
This and literally think about it. In AEW, he didn't have much of a run. In WWE's first run was not that great. This is the most he's had, storyline wise and promo wise. And honestly, this is I love this for him.
But I feel like the Papa H was the one that, because he remember, just said a while back. This is this really like a black and brown,
yeah, you're
gold,
right.
like type of, like how was he the NXT right now, and what Papa H is doing this one. He's bringing people that he loves. He loved Andrade. When he fucking got him, he's like, "Hell the hell yeah, I'm gonna get this guy."
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah. I mean,
Pushed him. He made him the world champion in NXT.
I mean, not to go back to that, but look at Karrion Kross. He came back. He was fucking buried under Vince. It took him 3 years to come out and get to this point, thanks to Triple H. Triple H didn't give up on him, and like right now, this is the most compelling he's been. I still wish he would shave his head, but that's another story.
Nah, he won't.
But think about it this way: Triple H's guys have all started to blow up right now. Back to what you and Just said, they are starting to blow up right now. Right now, the only person I feel sad for is AJ Styles.
I know.
Oh, he did. He already got hurt. I'm like, I saw it.
Yeah, but this is apparently, from what I'm told, this is a really bad fracture, and most guys can't come back from it at his age.
Oh.
Now, I don't know if that's true, and I don't know what Doc Samson can do back in the day, but people are saying that this is a pretty bad one.
That sucks.
Yeah, I hope not, because literally he came back one day and got hurt.
I just hope it's not. I hope it does come back on time, and I hope he'll have his retirement tour next year. And
truth be told, I want him to get better and cause Carmelo the championship. Motherfucker.
I wouldn't be surprised if he does. I wouldn't be surprised. But
so I'm hoping that that's the case. But other than that, every dude Triple H has brought in or invited in or recruited, handpicked, on the main roster right now is starting to blow up. Look at the Street Profits.
Yep. SmackDown starting to feels like it's starting to find its vibe by pushing different people, which is good.
The only people I'm curious about is DIY, because they're having great matches, but they're not really in a good position to be. They're not in a great place,
and that sucks to say.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I gotta hit this clip.
Tranquilo.
All right.
No. Don't get me wrong. Like, I know they're on their way.
Take it easy, Papi.
I know they're on their way.
Papi, take it easy, Papi. Hold the fuck up. Hold on. Remember, Motor City, and then I remember that's their guys. But let's face it, they're not beating the Motor City Machine Guns. I don't give a shit, but we're getting there on television, and we're in a tag team division. Finally, for God's sakes, we need one.
Well, no. My question is I understand that having them lose to the Motor City Machine Guns is a good move. I guess I'm just worried that after that they're going to go back into the obscure place they were before.
Let's just pray not to. Wait. By the way, answer me, guys. You both have they started already 3 hours? It hasn't started yet.
Not yet.
No, not yet.
Okay, so
it's still 2.
Let's just wait until it starts. Then we'll know.
Oh yeah. No, don't get me wrong. Like I said, I am cautiously optimistic that with the new tag division, a lot of guys that came up as tag teams will actually be able to get their shot at tag team. At the very least, tag blowing up on tag teams. So
okay.
So
what else you guys for this J-Man on this?
SmackDown.
SmackDown. Really nothing else on SmackDown really that's really big to talk about.
All right. Yeah. Now it's time. The next subject. I know folks, this is what we do here. We derail, we talk, but see, we do it for you guys because we are professional wrestling analysts. All right. So whoever listening and watching, Bully Ray, Conan, everybody, I love you guys, respect. But if you guys don't like what the fuck we say, that we're professional wrestling analysts, then I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to tell you this right here.
Suck a big old bag of donkey dicks.
That's bottom line, especially
there it is.
I mean, that's what I gotta say. But now it's time to talk about
UWI.
Yeah, baby, because we're gonna get to what we need to get to. So this is the PWI 250 top 10, and I have the list right here. Number 1, Timeless Tony Storm. Number 2, Jordan Grace. Your Knockouts champion. Number 3, Mommy, Rhea Ripley.
Mhm.
Number 4, Micah from Stardom. Number 5, my vieja. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I had to come down.
Stephanie.
Chile. Shout out to Suplex Chiles because they were a part of our family too. Gonzalo, Felipe. Yes, that's right. Stephanie Bakir, number 5. Sayuri, who is your Margot champion, who defeated Julia, number 6. And Bailey, that's right. She is number 7. Willow Nightingale, number 8. Number 9, Mariah May. And the last one is, of course, the minion leader herself. That is Athena. Oh,
I am not gonna lie. I actually think Bailey and Mariah May should be a little bit higher. At least Mariah May. I'm sorry, Mariah May and Willow.
Well, go ahead, take the floor. I mean, is it hard to debate this one, or
no? It's a solid list. Honestly, I can't really argue with the numbers. Personally, I would like Mariah May and Willow to be up higher, only because I think Mariah May was part of the best women's storyline in professional wrestling.
That Tony Storm story is incredible.
Exactly. Because if Tony's going to be number 1, Mariah May should at least be around a little bit higher, like at least number 5. So, but other than that, I mean, that's a personal choice. But the numbers they have, I can understand exactly the reasoning they have for the women. It's probably the most fair list. I think they're a little bit kinder to Bailey than she deserves. I'm not gonna lie to you. Not that I don't think Bailey deserves to be in the PWI top, but I don't feel like her run leading up to now has actually leading her last year. Warrants her being that high up. I put her in the top 20, but not in the top 10.
Yeah, that might be the only one that I think I agree with Phil, because that's a little debatable there. Because that one, other than that, the list itself really isn't that like big debatable. Like but Bailey being that high up, to me, I kind of agree with Phil there. Like
2 years ago, yes,
absolutely.
Ago,
this recent run that Bailey had really wasn't all that.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you both. That's why, like, I'll fair question Justin, like, what a year are they going based on? Or is it the same house that men won? Because
that's the thing, as I don't know where that list starts and ends.
Yeah, exactly. Because
I'm gonna try to find out.
If it's when she was with Damage Control, she deserves to be in that list, right in the top 10, because she was amazing in that Damage Control years.
Yes.
And so I don't know how far back that PWI list goes. Athena,
I am curious.
Athena actually is a very good call, but a surprise because I didn't think they would notice her. Because we talked about that. ROH is barely visible on television. So even with talent scouts, I'm surprised Athena gets that, but I keep forgetting that Athena has been doing work in other promotions all over the world as well.
Okay, I have it now. It's from October 1st of 2023 to September 30th.
Oh,
that's a long gap, actually.
Yeah, that is.
So it does make sense why Bailey is in that matter.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, and if that's the dates, then I'll give it to Bailey. Yeah, because that championship run was a good run. That was legitimately a good run for her.
Because she didn't come in last year. She came in at SummerSlam, but SummerSlam was in August. So how you mentioned, Phil, like her title run was like during October, right? Was it October? Justin, Phil?
I feel like it was.
Yeah.
But so
she won it at Mania, so
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so Stephanie Vakir, I am good, but I'm a little bit surprised Julia's not in that top 10 as well.
Agreed there.
Because truth be told, if Stephanie Vakir is on that list, Julia should be as well.
I want you to know Julia placed 21st.
That is insane.
Yep.
If
this is Lynch placed higher than Julia did. Yeah, Becky's been out for most of the year.
Yeah, honestly, that right there, I feel like is a slap in the face to Julia, because honestly,
you heard it just right there. He's like,
so honestly, Julia, I would like to be in at least the top 15, if not the top 10.
Yes.
And I would bump Bailey out for sure, honestly,
Yes.
and move Bailey down and move Julia up, only because Julia's run in Japan, her jump from Stardom to Marigold was a huge deal. Her showing up at NXT, another big deal. Her first match was great.
Yes.
And so I feel like I don't know. Like I said, I know you said it's October to now.
Yeah, from last year to this, what it is now. To
Yeah,
September.
I feel
from last month.
that was when Julia was in her heyday, especially with Marigold.
Yeah.
Well, because Marigold was brand new this year. Last year was really more Stardom when she had her match with
I thought she went to Stardom like last year until
she was Stardom forever. Prior to that.
Yeah, I mean,
they went based on 2023 of last year.
Yeah, okay.
So Margot didn't start until this year.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Okay. I mean, I will say if that's the case, her jump from Marigold, her jump from Stardom to Marigold should have warned her a higher place, in my opinion.
The one that where Bailey's placing, I'll say this, is questionable for one woman on this list right now, and that's the current IWGP Women's Champion. Mayu Iwatani is.
Yeah. Wait, where's she?
She's number 14.
That's a fucking mistake. Okay.
And I look at that and I go, I get it. It's Bailey. Name value, everything else. It's Bailey. It's one of the biggest pieces of a women's division. But
I think Iwatani gets fucked because she lost to Sasha Banks, the Mercedes Moné.
Yeah.
At like the last New Japan Strong, and that wasn't a strong event, but the new Capital Pride event, they had a match and she lost. And I feel like that may have, that might be an oversimplification of the entire process, but I feel like that didn't do her any favors. And honestly, every time she showed up in the US, she lost.
That's true.
And I think that cumulatively screwed her over.
That could be. That sucks.
And I think she even had a match against a WWE. Oh yeah, she lost. I think she lost to Io Sky, didn't she? In Japan.
Who? Sairi?
Maybe it was Kyrie.
No, it was Sairi that she lost to.
Okay, Sairi. Okay.
Sairi beat Io, really?
No, she lost to Io.
Oh, okay.
No,
okay,
that was just recent. But no, but Sairi had a momentum going in Stardom before she decided to go with face for Margot. So
I remember Io's match was freaking Utami Hayashishita.
Yeah. Oh, Utami. Okay, yeah, okay.
Yes,
I thought Maya had a match. I thought Maya had a match against a WWE person, but I guess not.
No.
Yeah, but I feel like every time she was in the US, she lost the match.
Especially like Logan saying, okay, top 1, Io Sky, 2, the Kyrie saying top 3, Julia, 4, Mayu Iwatani, in between, top 4, Tam Nakano,
Tom Nakano, yep.
Nakano, yes.
That right there. Where was Mina in that list?
Oh,
5th.
Mina.
She was, if I can find the list again.
She better be top 20.
No, Mina Shirakawa, she was 16th.
Yeah, 16.
Okay, good. Okay, yeah, that's a good number for her.
But I see Maiko deserves to have that top, and I've seen what she's done. I give her. But Kara deserves to be where she's at because she did work her ass off that last.
Oh, no, she like
that whole 2023 like ending of it. She did. She really worked her ass off.
Yeah, her run through
all the promotions.
Yeah, her run through that, where she had some amazing matches with Julia. She had some amazing matches in Japan, and
she beat the fuck out of Tessa Blanchard, man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and the matches in Mexico, she actually killed it. And she's been, and her even though she lost AEW, everyone automatically said she should have won. Like, the people of Chile aside.
All I can say is shouts to number 7 on that list, Saya Kamatani. I love her.
Look. The only thing I would say is Willow should have been a little bit more higher.
I think so too.
That's probably the only thing I can say because her momentum from that time to what it is now was built. Really
she
great.
had two street fights this year.
Mm-hmm.
She had a tag one and she had a separate one with Statlander. Both of those things were some of the most vicious matches I've seen. And storyline wise, she has had some very good storyline runs.
Willow, outside of losing the strong title to Mercedes, has really put in the work.
Yep.
It's hard to debate this one, honestly. There's certain ones we could say, but at the same time, there's some that they deserve.
I think we can all agree the number one spot. No one's going to argue with that.
I'm not arguing that one.
Deserved.
I'm not arguing
Tony
that
Storm,
yeah.
Again, like you said, involved in the best women's storyline in wrestling was just the biggest piece of it.
I mean, not only that, but remember we said it that was the hottest storyline, and the one that was in the women's division was keeping it up.
I honestly thought Rhea would at least be one or two.
Her reign was incredible too. Like Tony's was incredible.
Yeah, I honestly thought Rhea would be number 2.
The reason why I agree with this one, why her 3, because there wasn't much build for her after she won the belt.
Yeah.
Plus, she did get hurt, and she did miss a couple months.
Yeah. 100%.
Jordan Grace being second makes all the sense. That
Jordan Grace
has killed it with the Knockouts Championship.
She had the biggest impact, no pun intended, because like being able to bounce between WWE and TNA did wonders for her.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's hard to debate this one, honestly.
Yeah.
No, I mean I don't want to debate it because I think, like you said, there really isn't anything to debate because this is probably the most fair PWI list I have seen in probably a while.
Yeah, this is a mostly very accurate list.
Yeah, compared to other ones, pieces of shit.
Yeah.
Always,
Like the men's one, we know that's basically top 500. That's just a fucking discussion / get at each other's throats freaking list.
Yeah. And honestly, I'm just glad and proud to see Athena make number 10, honestly. It just that she's being recognized, even though that I think ROH doesn't give her anything as much as I would like. Her wrestling around the world has been great. And she even, granted, I only catch the pay-per-views for ROH when I can. Even within those pay-per-views, she does a good job of selling her storyline through that, at least from what I can tell. What I can piece together from it.
Yeah, and then Roxanne 11, Liv by 12, EO 13, Mayo 2014, Masha 15, Becky 17. Which I agree with Justin when he told me off air. Like, I don't know where Becky lands on this white 17. If she did got hurt at last year, before 2023.
Yeah, but
she literally dropped the title to Liv and then disappeared. She got her rematch and then left.
Yeah, but I'm actually okay with 17, honestly, because she had that impressive cage match. And
that was this year's.
Even before she was definitely heading out for a break.
That is true. Yes,
that run up until that cage match was legitimate, and that Trish Stratus match was legitimately a good run.
That cage match that her and Trish had was phenomenal.
Yeah, so I'm kind of okay with her being in the top 20. And honestly, Becky is money. I can't really argue with that. Like there isn't honestly, if there's a part of me where if Mercedes Moné is on this list, I'm gonna find these motherfuckers and chase them down. Out of curiosity, where did she show up on this list?
Hold on, let's find out.
Justin got it because I only have the first 20. He has.
Yeah, we can keep going. I'll just look see if I can find her on the list.
Yeah, no worries, brother. It is not.
It's not a bad list. It's like you said, it's a legitimate list.
Yeah, but I still would have moved Mariah. At least I would have moved Athena and Mariah at least a bit, and Willow.
I'm actually okay with where Athena is, but I would have switched Mariah and Bailey for damn sure. Now, I would have moved Willow up 2 more places if I could.
I'm with you on that too, because I probably would have. I would have put Willow at 6 if it was up to me, and then I would put Athena at 8. I'll put her.
Yeah. I can't. I think the only reason why Athena is not that high Because, like we said, she's not on television that much.
It fucking pisses me off. Fucking.
I know. I hear you.
Wow, I don't even think she made the list.
Thank God she did.
Well, she was hurt. Remember, she was hurt most of the year anyway.
Yeah, so
she shouldn't be on that list. But I wasn't sure if she was going to make it.
No, she's not even on the list.
No, she ain't gonna like me when I meet her. She's gonna be like,
I don't care. God damn.
I know.
So we'll see how it goes. But overall, that list that's a pretty legitimate list.
Yes, that is. So we got two more subjects we close out, gentlemen. Because yes, I know we've been here for 3 hours, but it's just like, remember, there's a lot of things happen in professional wrestling. Yes, we did derail, but that's fine. What's what we do here on on the Debate Network? Because and remember, we do this once a week.
Yeah, we still need somebody to be a timekeeper for us.
I could be, but it just I don't want to.
Okay, you guys are better. I don't really care about.
Me neither. Collision and Rampage, especially.
I'll show it right quick so you guys can see before we move on to the.
Honestly, it's not so much you as the fact that honestly.
Why? I mean, like
those matches rarely mean anything.
I mean, the only one for me is Anna Jay and Mariah May have battled the belt. That's it.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, I'll be honest with you. Rampage and Collision has a way of making you think it's going to mean something, and then all of a sudden you realize, oh, they're not doing shit with this.
Like Rampage, honestly, after like the whole Punk stuff, really just became an afterthought. Collision basically followed that same exact trend. It was very important until it freaking just fell off.
Honestly, AR Fox and Ricochet
is dope, but
I'm much looking forward to seeing that. I want to see. I'm curious how they're
like I said, I think it'll be good, but the mini promos before that, I'm thinking, Lord have mercy.
Even Fletcher and Atlantis Jr. should be fucking great, but
they did a great job with CML when he lost the belt to him.
Yeah, I mean, if it's part of Kyle Fletcher's storyline for him being a heel, okay. But if they're just in a match where Kyle Fletcher cheats to win, I am not going to care about it.
No, but one I do care is Trish Adora versus
yeah. No, I agree. I think that would
Trish Adora.
Respectfully,
with Mariah,
respectfully, indubitably.
With Mariah May watch it, by the way.
Yes.
I know, but what do you think I put it? What do you think right there?
Honestly, you want to talk about a match I do not care about? Private Party and M&M Collection.
MXM.
I'm sorry.
So good to me.
Tony, try to call up WWE and see if you can get the rights to that music.
Do you agree what Justin Nice said? Like, do you think that Rico should be the manager for that group?
Rico should no longer be here.
Man, that's like
Rico's appearance was one trick pony.
You're a fucking hater, man. Why are you hating on Rico, man? You're like no. Damn hater shit, man.
I got Rico on my TV and he's right here with us.
Here's the problem I have with Rico. Rico is a one-trick pony, so it ain't like he's gonna bring anything new to the table.
No, because he's gonna give him the whole like little the gimmick, even though it didn't work in WWE. I had Madonna for Vogue, man.
I literally, when they came out on the pre-show and freaking he showed up with them, I go, "Is that Rico?"
I know, because he busted a fucking Joe Hendry.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
Speaking of which, I'm gonna need to get bound for glory as well sometime.
Well, we're gonna remember, folks. We are gonna do 2 watch-alongs this weekend. We're doing one coming up this Saturday and Sunday, which is time to talk about. And that is right, folks. Yeah, there you go. Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling happening this Saturday and Sunday. That is the card. This is night 1, is the middle one. The main event is Mike Bailey versus Konosuke Takeshita The title is not on the line.
Mhm.
Okay, clarify that. Tables match, of course, formerly known as, you already know who. Raj Desi versus Bully Ray. Giselle Shaw versus Miyu Yamashita, which I'm looking forward to seeing that. Champions Grail matchup, of course, Rohan Raja versus Jake Something. I'm looking forward to seeing that. And of course, we got Kevin Knight and, of course, Kushida versus Rogue and Spartan. We have
Bruh.
thank you.
Josh Alexander, Stu Grayson, and ELP.
Yep. That's what we have here.
First off, Mike Bailey and ELP looks fucking wild.
Yeah.
So that's night one. That's night one. Josh Alexander, Stu Grayson, ELP versus Trevor Lee, Rock in the Middle, Alex Zane. QT Marshall versus, of course, Gujar. Kylie Ray versus Aurora Tevez. Lainey Luck, which I know her personally. She's a very good friend, but she has, that's what I can say. I'm going to go with details. Taylor Rising. Yes, I'm actually Johnny Swinger. Where the fuck's he been? So he's going to show up.
Fucking Johnny Swinger.
Yeah. Coming up with Brent Rax versus Aiden Prince, a great North American international star who has to give him the credible credits to. Aiden Prince is very underrated.
I have heard good stuff about him. So I don't know much
if
about
you YouTube his matches, you'll know. Trust me, you'll be impressed with him.
I'm actually excited for Kylie Ray because honestly, I feel like she got a raw deal.
I love Kylie Ray. I just feel so bad that she just keeps sadly having to disappear all the time.
Yeah, I think the stresses of this is actually pretty harsh on her, and I'm at least glad she can take off and come back. So, but yeah, I wish that there was a better support system for her so that she wouldn't have to keep disappearing. So.
Then yes, so this paper is called Forge in Excellence.
Yep.
Night two. Well, we got so far. There's more matches, but I've been following them on social media. So we got night two. Athena, of course, defending her Ring of Honor World Championship versus Giselle Shaw. We got.
It's gonna be a goddamn. Can we talk about the fact that Athena's getting more action in other promotions as ROH champion than her own?
We love Athena.
We love Athena. Give us our minion.
We are minions. We follow our minion queen.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. Like, I know she's defending it in ROH, but visibility, this is like outside of AEW, this is the biggest visibility I think she's had in a minute. Because like this is no joke.
Talk to the cocaine and cooking and species and this vodka piece of shit. I don't want to get into it. Speedball Mike Bailey headed up on Tasman Night 2. We got Classy Alley versus El Reverso. And we got another tag match right there, which I keep forgetting the damn fucking names, but I know that Zane is involved. And
my boy Zane, let's go.
And we got the main event called Konosuke Takeshita defending the international title versus Josh Alexander on night 2.
That would be the shit.
I know, but let's talk about what night 1 first. First, let's talk about night 1 before we move to night 2. So this is night 1 for you, gentlemen. So
God, I don't even know what to say to that.
Yeah, you got night 1 here. That what do you guys got there? So let's start with that one before we move to night 2. What we know so far, because the announcements has not been made for night 2. Only the matches that I put there earlier. Damn it, Scott D'Amore. But I know what you're doing. You're teasing us to order that bundle. Order that bundle for $39.99, folks. On
honestly, the thing about this that I enjoy is that Scott knows that it's a brand new promotion.
It's gonna work.
So he's banking on names than his usual format of telling a story through it. But I think the guys he's picked are legitimately solid people. And let's face it, Scott D'Amore has known Konosuke Takeshita for a long time and has watched him. Giving him Mike Bailey and Josh Alexander, legitimately, that's your main events right there.
Oh, yes. It's
your
like
main event.
Mania running.
Honestly, I think people are going to be really surprised by how good the Raj Desi and Bubba Ray match is probably going to be.
Oh, God. I was so sketchy about how I feel about that matchup because I look at it and go, oh God, it's Bully Ray and the former Jinder Mahal. And I go, in a tables match. I'm just like,
I'm not gonna lie to you. I've seen him wrestle at GCW. It's a completely different cat.
yeah, part of me is a little bit interested in it because how like, what's this gonna be like now?
And I'm trying to think who the other guys are. Honestly, the rest of these matches, I like these guys. I have never thought of them going against each other though. So on paper, it's like, oh, I mean, they're not dream matches. They're just like, oh, this is something I want to see. Like the Giselle Shaw match, that one right there with
against Yamashita, that's
a
slap.
That's not a match. That's not a match I ever thought of. But now it's like, oh, that shit looks like the shit right there.
Yeah.
So
and of course, Takeshita and Bailey is going to be freaking ridiculous.
Yeah. So overall, I think night one's going to probably be a great night. I think Maple Leaf Pro. If this is Scott D'Amore's hello or quote unquote Scott D'Amore's all in, for Maple Leaf Pro to become a real syndicate, good on them.
Absolutely, I think this show can absolutely get that company off the
off
and running.
And like I said, it'll probably take him a while. Like I don't think he'll be doing like nightly TV shows.
No.
But I think a few pay-per-views under his belt will probably be what we need. Like I think it'd be what we need. And the good thing about Scott D'Amore is he knows how to build shows.
Yes.
So even if it's not traditional method of building a show, I think he'll find a way to make it work.
Definitely.
He has proven that, like, honestly, he's just proven that he knows what the fuck he's doing.
Indubitably, he does.
Indubitably.
And again, I think I told you guys, I think MLP can fill the hole left by ROH.
You mean ELP? You said MLP. ELP.
No, he's talking about MLP.
No, Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling. Bringing it back because it has a great name and it has a historical name. But I think there is a hole that ROH left when it got bought by AEW, or went under first, and then got bought by AEW, and then basically kind of got buried under the AEW banner. That I think Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling can give, because it's Canada. Scott D'Amore knows everyone, and it can be a good gateway to Asia and Europe in regards to talent. So I think it could be what ROH was back in the day, where like dudes from Progress, dude from like wherever were coming through from both sides, Japan and Europe, to come through there. Because he's already shown, if you look at these talents, he's all over the fucking map.
But not only that, what you said, but this, I know that reminiscing of Ring of Honor, but this is like reminiscing of the beginning of NWA TNA, because they weren't on television; they were doing pay-per-views events.
Yep,
but what they were doing at the time were, if we go back during those days when social media at that time, like MySpace, when they were barely Facebook, they were doing stories, promos on social media. Telling the pay-per-view events before you ordered on DirecTV or anything else, like way back in the days. They could do the same. Scott D'Amore could do the same here for this one, because Scott D'Amore was there from the beginning of NWA.
I mean, Scott, you can listen to me. I already got the Triller app, man. I'm waiting for you, brother.
I got the app. So I'm looking forward. I'm excited, and we are going to have a watch.
And it's just like I said. This is one of I'm really excited for this, just because I told you, Justin, these aren't dream matches I thought of.
No, they're not.
But they are interesting matches I never thought of.
So which one do you think is going to be the match of the night, though? That's the question.
Oh, I can't even make that call. I mean, honestly, if I'm going to be biased, anything with Takeshita in it.
Oh, easily. Yes. Yes.
Indubitably.
If I'm going to be a dick about it, it's anything with Takeshita in it.
Yeah, really.
And I think it's going to be Takeshita and Josh Alexander. And no disrespect to Mike Bailey.
Yes.
All right. Well, this is we'll talk about night 2 right now, but night 1 is the one I really want to talk about.
Oh, then this is going to be Takeshita and Mike Bailey.
Easily, yes. I think. Don't get me wrong. I think the rest of the show is going to be freaking awesome. But that main event, if that's the main event, Takeshita and Bailey, that freaking match could just steal this entire show.
And what makes it even interesting is the fact that now that Takeshita has a belt and strap around there, even if it's not up for grabs, there is a certain level of he has a certain level of weight to him, a gravitas to him that makes Mike Bailey want to take it to the next level.
Honestly, I think that it might even end up being for the title because I'm pretty sure it's already confirmed that him and Josh Alexander's match on night 2 is for the title.
Yeah, they did say for Josh Alexander it was for the title.
So if Takeshi's going to pull double duty, this man's about to show you right now. This title run's already going to be off to a hell of a start.
Truth be told, this is basically the G1 Classic.
Fuck yeah, it fucking is.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's just it's not, granted it's not tournament style, but this is basically just G1 Classic for him.
I mean,
that is true. That is true.
How do you feel about this one, man? Like, night 1? What do you think?
I'm pumped. I cannot wait for this show. Like, I'm so freaking like when this was announced, I go, okay, that's freaking cool. Scott D'Amore has a new company, and now look at this card. You know, yes, it's like Phil said, it's not dream matches, it's matches that you didn't think of. And honestly, and even Bailey and Takeshita, like right off the bat, that right there could draw you right off. And then Giselle Shaw and Yamashita, that should be freaking fun.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, this show looking strong for night 1.
And I mean, I gotta tell you what's weird about it is that you weren't really thinking that this was going to be a real promotion, let alone a 2-night event.
Yeah.
Like, you thought it would just be a one and done just to kind of get Scott through to, like, before he comes back to America. At this point, I think he's trying to make a real go of it. He bought the name Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling. He got the guys for it. He's got a 2-night event. He's got a deal with Triller TV. I think he's well on his way to working out a deal with Canadian TV, whatever that is. I think.
He is working on a deal on that.
Yeah, so he's literally trying to be a promotion now instead of working for somebody.
The wheels are now in motion.
Yep.
And I'm happy for him. He's getting that.
I mean, he, like I said, by all accounts, based on the interviews I've heard, he's a really smart dude that honestly knows the business and knows how to bring in people to work with that's well, like not just wrestlers, but like promotional people and writers. So
yes.
So I'm waiting to, like I said, I'm curious to see how this all turns out. So do I expect it to run smoothly? Nope.
I don't either, but
I think it'll be as good as Scott wants it to be or needs it to be for the first production of their thing. And I think going forward, I think it'll get better and better. So like I said, like just honestly, just night one, like honestly, the whole thing has me excited. Night 1, especially, and night 2, especially. Like, which one I'm most looking forward to? Takeshita versus Josh Alexander. I'm not even gonna lie. That's the one in night 2. That's the one I'm most excited for.
Agreed.
Oh man, this is
but Bailey and Takeshita's right up there too. Like that's gonna be wild. Yeah.
For me, honestly, I'm looking forward besides the main event. I'm looking forward of the entertainment side of Bully and, of course, what he's going to do. But also the one I'm looking forward is really to see the momentum of Giselle Shaw outside of TNA. We haven't seen that much from her. And to fight an international star like Yamashita, that's a whole different ballgame. And I am excited to see what is Giselle Shaw going to bring to that table for her.
But she has a history in Japan too, doesn't she?
No, she not much like what I expected from Giselle, but Yamashita is different though, man.
I agree.
It's a whole different ball game now.
Okay, I hear you.
And like I'm not disrespecting the rest of the Stardom or the Tokyo Joshi Pro, none of that.
Yeah,
I'm just really more Yamashita is a veteran that she's an international star. And Giselle to have a shot at just a singles match with her Ooh, I am excited about that's gonna be. I'm really excited. Aiden Prince, I'm excited that he's gonna be there. I'm excited that Lady Luck is gonna be there. I'm excited that QT Mark's gonna be there. So I'm excited.
We also get a Moreau on the table.
Oh my God, let's freaking with Don Callis
on both nights.
That's a hell of a commentary team.
Yeah, exactly.
Mamma mia! He's like, oh my God, and we know how Oh man, Callis is gonna do a great job in night. I can't wait. I'm excited for night one. I'm so stoked for this, and man, night one. But let's talk about night two though. Night two. Now let's go to night two. So night two, by far what Scott D'Amore has announced. Of course, these are the matches already. Of course, the night two matchup is Josh Alexander challenging Konosuke for the International Championship. My butt Bailey versus ELP. That's the match that I'm looking forward to.
Honestly, though, what I am surprised about is that Mustafa Ali is not in this card somewhere.
That would have been great if he was.
Maybe he'll be on the next one.
Because I've been wanting a Mustafa Ali ELP match for so long, it's not even funny.
No.
All I know is that freaking 6-way match or tag match or whatever the hell it is.
That's crazy. That's gonna be crazy.
Looks like it's gonna be nuts.
No, it's gonna be it's a 6-man tag match. Yeah.
Oh, it is a 6-man tag. Either way, that's still gonna be fucking.
So hold on,
nuts.
let me take a pull. I have it here. Let's see.
Yeah, it's ELP, Josh Alexander.
Right. Yeah, it's right. No, it's right there. Look, it's right there. That's night two. So the ones on the sides is night two. So you see, it's Mike Bailey versus ELP in night two. You got Ali versus Wrestle for a championship, which I forgot which is called the QPW Qatar Championship. You have Athena versus Giselle Shaw for the Ring of Honor Women's Championship. You have the main event, of course, Josh Alexander versus Takeshita for the AEW International Championship. The 6-man tag match. Let me see. I fucked up for not getting exactly what who on that one. It's Jake something, Trevor Lee. Oh, to the moon. And Stu Grayson versus Sheldon Sheen, Mike Rollins, and Alex Zane.
Yeah, that's it. Stu Grayson. Yeah, okay.
So that is night two. Fuck. What do you have? By far was announced. So Scott D'Amore is a smart man. He didn't bring the whole card for night two. He just gave you night one full card. So he's like,
that's why I'm reserving my judgment for night two because I'm waiting to see what they do. Other than Josh Alexander and Takeshita, they're really like it's still
give me Speedball and ELP.
Yeah, ELP and Mike Bailey.
Oh my God!
It'll be great. But like I said, if night two is anything like night one, it's going to be bonkers by the time it actually shows up. And I mean, granted, we only have today's Friday? No, Thursday. There's only got one more day, so I don't think night two is going to be that busy. But honestly, I think it's going to be some of the most. I think there's going to be a couple of more matches added that we were just not expecting.
No, I know because that's why. Like I was going through their social media looking what the announcement that was matched was Giselle Shaw and Athena. That was announced today, so they didn't announce it at all. The last
they are being really cheap with night two announcements, like really cheap,
which is fine. I'm okay with that because
that means Scott might have a couple surprises in store.
Yeah, I think so too.
I will say this: there's one thing that I just kind of seen as a glaring kind of issue there. The one thing that kind of doesn't make sense is now Giselle Shaw and Yamashita being first. So if Giselle goes in there and loses to Yamashita, then gets a title match for it, that's a little weird.
I actually do understand that a little bit because remember, there's also this is not a single. It's being run like a double elimination thing. Like remember when I said the G1 Classic? It's it's not one and done for a lot of these guys.
Okay.
Because so basically granted it's not a tournament style, but it's getting treated like double elimination. Okay. So a lot of these folks are getting double match. They're just getting 2 matches, period. It doesn't matter what they want to lose, but it's one of those things where it's like in Maple Leaf Pro, the last time they held a pay-per-view, I was 1-2 kind of thing. or I was 2-0. That's how I feel like it's getting booked, at least for right now. At least for right now, I think that's how it is because, like, truth be told, I can't pick Speedball between Speedball, Mike Bailey, and ELP. I can't pick a winner, and I don't want.
That's tough.
I can't pick a winner on that one because I'm sitting there just going, I don't know.
I don't know what to pick up between Speedball and ELP. I love ELP. When I met him, I was like, oh man.
I'm like I said, I just always enjoyed him. Period. So him against Mike Bailey, and Mike Bailey is one of those dudes who I've enjoyed because he's what Bill Bobby Heenan would call a meat and potatoes guy. He gonna get you down and beat the shit out you. Period.
Yes.
So
yes.
That's all I need in my wrestlers. Like I said, so I'm okay with like that's what I'm looking for. That's comfort food for me. Mm-hmm. So I'm like I said, I can't pick a winner. Especially and the Joe Saw and Athena, I know the only reason I want Athena to win is because it's a title match. But if it was no title on the line, I couldn't pick that match either.
That is true.
Yeah, that's true.
So I am weirdly enough, I think like it goes back to the same thing. It's like dream matches, no. Crazy, interesting matches, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, although honestly, Takeshita Josh Alexander is a dream match.
Yes,
these two
shows should be epic.
Yeah, and Takeshita Mike Bailey also a dream match as well. So, so there's a few. I mean, they still have a few dream matches in there. So,
yes, and yes, folks, we are going to have a 2-night event. Night one, I know that the Man of 1,000 Words will be hosting that along with the Redeemer. And I'm assuming you too, Phil. You're gonna come in with night one for watch along.
Yeah, I'm coming on for night one. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Night two, I don't know if I'm not sure. Night two.
If I'm emotionally stable after night one, sure, I'll do night two.
What time the show starts? It should start what? Like
I think I see it start. Well, I think it starts at 7.
7. Yep, 7 Eastern. Yep.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. So
that's gonna be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I'm excited for this. I
am too. Like, yeah, like I said,
I'm pumped.
I think the best thing about this is it is rare that we get like. I think the thing that's making me most excited is this is a brand new promotion. You know how long it's been since we've had a brand new promotion,
right?
Like, I know.
Like literally, we have not had a brand new wrestling promotion. And granted, we know everybody on here, obviously, but there's something to be said with a new banner and a new wrestling promotion that gets everyone excited. It was like the first time GCW had a match, first time ECW had a match, the first time TNA had a match, like the first time they started it, like that kind of like. I thought honestly, I didn't think I'd ever see that again. I mean, granted, I'll include AEW in that one, but. AEW too.
Yes.
So
I'm excited. I'm pumped.
I'm pumped.
So we'll see how it goes. I'm excited. Like I said, we're all excited for it, so I'm happy about that. So I think we can shut it. It's late.
I know. It's already like what 12:19.
I'm in my hotel room and I'm ready to go to bed. It has been a long day.
I know, almost 4 hours, but we at least covered a lot of things we needed to cover.
Yes.
And I'm glad that we did that. Remember, folks, we're here to do it during the week. We don't do it on the daily. It's difficult for us because of our personal time. But not only during the week, besides that, you got people, of course, you got the familia that covers here on a daily, of course, basis. You have every Monday, Raw Dogging with Dom, De Niro and Dom, and friends with
benefits.
Thank you for saying the whole thing.
I'm gonna come on. You think I'm gonna buzz? Yes. No, I'm not.
I'm just waiting for it to get longer with the name.
I know. Longer, but no, I don't. Oh, hold on. I know. I'm trying. I'm rushing it. But yes, guys, we have that on Monday nights. We have that. Hopefully, we'll have 2 hours next week, the full hours of Monday Night Raw. Tuesday, we got the full 2 hours, of course, with your host here, the Redeemer himself and the Man of 1,000 Words hosting. Of course, NXT, because the next NXT, I don't know what's happening next week at NXT, so we have to see the cards. You just got to stay tuned for that. There's a lot
We are going to be literally 1 week away from Halloween Havoc.
I know. We got that, and also on our family network, we got Game Breaker Sports on their YouTube channel, Dynamite Wednesdays watch along, and then also here on the Debate Center, we have GETCHO podcast at 10 o'clock, 10:30 Eastern, 9:30 Central, and 6:30 Pacific. Every Wednesday here with Just and Vince and any special guests they have. Thursdays we're here. Of course, you see us. Fridays is on, which is tomorrow. You'll have Game Breaker Sports YouTube channel. Happy to SmackDown watch along, letting you know what's going on. But we'll be here for Saturday and hopefully for Sunday, folks. A 2-night event watching the MLPW, the Forge and Excellence of watching here of that. And shout out to, and also Dojo Debate will be here next Tuesday as well, after an hour after of the Watch It On for NXT to recap this Sunday's Royal Quest that's happening this Sunday, Saturday going on Sunday, you could say, because you have Zack Sabre Jr., the new crown IWGP World Heavyweight Champion.
Yes, CSJ.
Yes, defending the title versus Sonata, and the winner of that gets your opponent's pick. So we know Zack Sabre picked, he picked Shingo, and Sonata picked Umino. So the winner of that will get that for Prowler Struggle. So much happening in the world of professional wrestling, folks. But before we close it out here, folks, we want to thank you for our listeners and audios around the world. Which, by the way, I really haven't told Justin and Redeemer, who listens to us. Oh, thank you so much, Andy. I thank you, Mr. Knight. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
We appreciate you. If you guys don't listen to us all over on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts. We're on every social media platform. But right now, the ones who are listening to us more on really, like, if I'm looking at the analytic, we've been listening besides here in the U.S. We've been listening all over, the East Coast, California, Virginia, New Jersey, New York, and Washington, Ohio, Pennsylvania. Majority right there. They listen to us, but another place that are listening to us as well. Besides that, on the North America, we have also in Canada. Shout out, of course, to Quebec, Ontario, British Columbia. That are listening to us there, and we have the audiences in Germany. That's right, Guten Tag, mi querido Steve. That's good. Yeah, it's in Heiser. Yes, in Heiser. Yes, they got us there, and we also have China. We have UK. We have all over Scotland and England. We have that. There's a lot. All of you guys internationally that have been listening to us. Italy as well. Buongiorno. Australia, of course, Brazil, Philippines, India, Russia, Slovenia, Venezuela, Estonia, Ukraine, Spain, Japan, Switzerland, Colombia, Sweden, Ireland, Indonesia, Netherlands, Ghana, Romania, Kazakhstan, Belgium, Fiji, Thailand, Vietnam, Tanzania, Tunisia, United Arab Emirates, South Africa, and Czech Republic. Man, I can't believe we're international that way because of you guys. Thank you so much for listening to us. That is a lot. That is a lot. You see? You see? And if you don't believe it, I can show you guys right here. I got it right here. I can show you. I can literally show you very quick right here. I can show you guys of how for God's sakes, hold on, let me remove this. Let me get this out of the way.
Look at that.
You see? It's all there. It's all there. You see, from the US, Canada, Germany, China, UK, Italy, Australia, Brazil. It's all there because I love you guys. This is all you guys. You see the percentage of everything listening to the web browser, to the also Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you all.
Yes. Look at that. How many?
Everyone, thank you. I am falling asleep, sir.
I know, I know. But I just wanted to thank everybody for that.
Yes.
That's all I wanted to do. I'm sorry.
No bullshit. We are here because of them, because they keep us going.
Yes.
That's right, folks. Because we got, of course, two of the phenomenal, incredible, stupendous, immaculate hosts that brings you all this. I don't do it. They do it. They do it for you. I don't. I do it for you guys, but if it wasn't for them, I won't be here. But you already know that. But you know it's that time, folks. It is that time.
Autobots, transform and roll out.
That is right. It is that time. But I'm going to let these two gentlemen tell you where you can find them, where you can follow them besides here, because they are the hosts. Both of them are hosts, coast to coast with the most in the East Coast, West Coast, internationally, everywhere, anywhere, anytime. Just don't piss them off, because if you do piss them off, then that's where you're going to get then you're going to get
what kind of shit is that?
If not, then they're going to, then when you do that, they're going to bitch. And then they'll take out the fuck yeah. That's, but all right. Mr. Attorney at Law, the one who fights for us, that is the man himself at the hour, on the hour, every day, all day. I don't question this man, because if I do, I'm going to get sued. But he's my attorney. He can sue me anytime. So I don't want to do that shit.
Keeping it short, Instagram, PhilipJP24601. Link in the comments. Linktree can tell you everything you need to know about me and everything you could want. Justin, take it away.
Yeah, because he is the man in blue.
Remember, I had to shut down power in my building, and the hotel I was staying in just caught on fire, and I'm exhausted. So my get up and go done got up and went.
Hey, as long as it wasn't Adam Hangman Page, bro. So that's all.
Yeah, well,
yeah, right. Thank God.
Redeemer, tell him host the most. Tell him, brother.
Facebook, Instagram at In Time Wrestling Podcast, all lowercase, at JustinTime211 on Twitter. Other than that, you could find me on here, Circle of Debate, Game Breaker Sports. I'm everywhere. I am your redeemer. I'm here to do this for you guys. So basically, find me everywhere, because that is what I do. You know, the redeemer is your hookup. Holla if you hear me.
That's right. And new merch is coming out for the holidays, folks. Very quick announcement. You got to give it time. It takes process. What you will see a new logo with these men's faces on it. And they're also their individual shirts as well. And once I put the new link on the link tree, and I'll put it in the description, there'll be some specials for it for you guys to order and have your own Pepsi-filled t-shirt and your Redeemer own t-shirt, or the whole Debate Network t-shirt, or the Circle Debate. You know, you will have all of that, or the watch along for NXTs. You'll have all of that coming soon. By the holidays, you will have all of that, and it will be a cheap price. It's just you got to give us time. Everything's been, of course, overwhelming and derailing. But
I got to get me a custom Pepsi filled jersey that has the logo on the front, and the number is literally just 1-900.
You just spoiled it, because that was actually the shirt that we're gonna have.
Oh, it's excellent. That's excellent.
It's like the Lincoln lawyer.
That's right. That's right.
Except the Pepsi lawyer.
Cracking one case at a time.
All right, brother, take us home.
But all right, but stay tuned, folks. Tomorrow, people are listening Friday, pretty much go to Game Breakers for SmackDown. Saturday, we'll be here for the watch along for Maple Leaf Night 1 and Night 2 on Sunday. Until then, folks, we don't do podcasting, attorney at law, music, karaoke, anything else. Gentlemen, you guys both tell them, what the hell do we do here on the Debate Network, folks?
We make history.
Peace.
Must bid you adieu, a goodbye, and good night.